Hey guys, Scam Warriors back with Kamen Rider Ryuki Kamentary Part 3.
We finally finished it.
Yeah.
This was a bit tougher for us to down due to all of the stuff.
Oh my god, there was so much bullshit.
All of the bullshit. Like last we left off, we had just got introduced to the new Kamen Rider Tiger, right? Yeah, because 35 is when he does the super cool finisher on
a random monster.
On a random monster. It's called Crystal Break.
Yeah, like right after we finished it, me and Scott went on like a fucking on an internet binge finding out obscure things about Ryuki.
Yes, like all of the finisher names, which we'll probably toss in there somewhere.
But anyway, with the introduction of Tiger, we also have the introduction of who I like to call the Patchwork Rider because he's not a real rider in the
Kamen Rider alternative. Basically, he's a man-made rider, but he doesn't look.
Technically, they're all man-made riders.
No. Whatever. You know what I mean, like a not Kanzaki Shiro made rider.
Yeah, he's not an actual like.
He's not one of the 13 riders.
Yeah.
May as well be for all we see of the other riders.
I know. And their plan is if they kill Yui, they end the rider.
Oh, you're definitely skipping forward. But basically, that is their plan. Yeah, you're way skipping forward. We don't find that out that they're after Yui for a few episodes.
What happens in those few?
He goes and meets them at the college, the university. Shinji goes and meets them at the university, and they're talking all that bullshit about being heroes, and he doesn't know that they're after Yui just yet. And then the kid comes in and gets a job at the shop, and then that's when we find out that they're definitely after Yui.
I thought that was episode 35.
No, because no, it was after we started watching episode 35 that like Alternative pulls Yui into the mirror world.
No.
And then stuff happens. Whoa, whatever.
Anything involving Alternative is kind of bullshit anyway.
Basically, because there's like 3 alternatives, but there's also 3 tigers. Then there wasn't 3 tigers, and there was
turns out that there was only 2 alternatives, and
we're not even joking about that. Technically, there were 2 alternatives because there's alternative and then there's alternative
there
zero.
Is 2 alternatives. There wasn't actually. They didn't at any point think that there was 3 alternatives. We just threw that in there because
at first there was 3 tigers though. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah.
When they all had the tiger deck case for no reason.
Yeah, you just made fake ones so that if anybody asked, it was smart. They had it to hide the identity of who Tiger actually was.
Yeah, but then they stopped caring, like, immediately.
Yeah.
Alright, so Shinji... I forget if Shinji follows them or something, but Shinji meets Tiger... he meets the scientists that helped Kanzaki Shiro's experiment that summoned Darkwing. That summoned Darkwing and got Ren's girlfriend put into a coma and blah blah blah. So Shinji meets these scientists that were working with Kanzaki Shiro, and he's just like, "What do you guys know about the Mirror World? And who is that new Kamen Rider?" And they all pull out the Tiger deck case, and he's just like, "Oh, you were all Tiger?
Their plan would have been just as effective if they just didn't pull out the Tiger cases and said nothing."
I agree. But so what happens is the lead scientist Kagawa? Yeah, Kagawa. There's Kagawa, Tojo, and the third guy who doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
But there's Kagawa, there's Kagawa who's like this older researcher guy who worked with Kanzaki Shiro. Then there was Nakamura or something like that. Started with an N, who is another older guy. And then there was this university student named Tojo, and then they were all working together to find some way to seal away the mirror world and stop the Rider War from happening.
And so, the reason that they're able to have the reason why they're able to have made a card deck, the alternative Zero deck, is because one day
by accident
Kagawa walks into the research lab while Shiro's there, sees a perfectly laid out folder on the ground.
Closed. It's closed.
No, it's open.
Is it open?
It's open.
Oh yeah, it's open.
He picks it up, and because he has a photographic memory, he just memorizes all the content that he sees in the folder. And then Kanzaki Shiro takes it from him, and then he goes, "Oh yeah, so the idea to make the Rider deck just kind of stuck in the back of my brain, and then
I was able to do it.
And so because it was stuck in the back of my brain, I just had to make it."
But again, that was skipping forward a little bit. But so as Shinji's talking to them, they're talking about how they're trying to become heroes, and all this stuff, and Shinji's just like, yeah, but I want to help you, and they're like, no, we can't trust you, even though he's literally offering up help for like literally free. And they're just like, nah, you're one of the only people, you're the only Rider who would want to help us, and we're just gonna no-sell you in helping seal off the mirror world and get rid of it for good.
I honestly don't have a problem with them refusing Shinji's help, because it's like you
sure had a problem when we were watching it. Because you were like, why would you turn away a guy?
I had time to reflect on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a problem with it, because it's like, what if you and I are superheroes, and then a superpowered person just walks in our door and says, I want to be on your team, and we have never seen him before, and it's like, who are you?
Yeah, but it's like a super no-sell, and it's like they have no like reason to like they also have no reason to doubt him. Maybe I'm just slightly more trusting.
While at the same time of having no reason to doubt him, they also have no reason to trust him.
Yeah, that's. But I am a default to trust person, sort of, kinda. So I'd be like, oh yeah, okay. I mean, if you fuck up once, we're gonna, impale the shit out of you, but, whatever. They had more reason to trust Shinji than they did that fucking Tojo kid. I wouldn't trust that kid with anything.
Oh my god.
We'll get there. Like, after that first thing he does, he should have been gone. But Kago was just like, nah, I'm keeping him around. Just maybe. Just maybe.
Anyway, then we get a fight between
Alternative and Ryuki.
No. Kitaoka and Asakura, which Kitaoka gets beat up, and then he leads Asakura to a tunnel. And then Asakura is arrested by the police.
Yep, he starts begging for his life, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, that is really low of you, Kitaoka. I thought you were way
really
better.
Out of character for him.
Yeah, I was like, wow, this is. I was like, it was literally like, wow, this is super pathetic. Like, I thought Kitaoka would at least be more classy about this. But then the police show up, and then he switches right back into himself, and I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. This is good. So Asakura is in jail, just in jail now.
No, not yet.
Oh well. Oh no.
Because on his way to jail, after they've confiscated his card deck,
And then also, Kitaoka made explicit directions to cover up all the windows and reflective
surfaces covered up.
And take away his card deck and carry it in a separate car.
And, so what happens is Asakura starts...
Wait, I'd also like to point out that this is also something that tips Reiko off. Because remember, Reiko had been doing some sort of, investigation.
It's not till later.
No, because she sees the van that Asakura is...
It's not until after the end of this that she gets to see the van. Because they drag him off, and then she sees
No, because they have him at the police station, and then they're gonna transfer him to prison. That's what it is. Yeah. And then Reiko gets a chance to see inside the van, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we covered up all the reflective surfaces on at the behest of his lawyer." And she's just like, "Does that mean Kitaoka knows something about this mirror theory that I have?"
Yeah. Anyway, so they're transporting him. And then he starts faking a seizure or something like that. And when they go to
I was like, no.
When they go to tell him to calm him down or whatever, he's there's one part of him that's not really restrained.
It was his legs.
Yeah,
or something.
His legs are tied together. But they're not tied to the chair.
That was it. I was like, I thought his legs were tied. Oh, they're only tied together, not to his chair. Oh my god.
So then he kicks the cop, uses his foot to scratch away some of the newspaper that they're using to lining the windows, and then he pulls from under his jacket the Metal Gallus. Yeah, Metal Gallus card. And then Metal Gallus just eats everybody in the van, and Asakura starts driving off to his escape.
It was actually pretty great.
Yeah.
He was able to keep one card. So, but as he takes the van, who is it? I think Ren realizes he's going to escape or something like that. Someone realizes...
Ren was tailing him the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, because Ren wanted to fight him because this is still...
This is like Ren had literally just finished fighting one of the Odins, and then he's driving off to find the other riders to fight.
No, he didn't fight. He hasn't fought Odin just yet.
No, this is right after he fought the Odin in the parking garage.
Where he stabs?
Yeah.
Oh, right, because Shinji and Yui are trying to find... Man, we're definitely fucking this up.
Anyway,
So the reason Ren is going after the Odins, because I don't think we hit on that just yet, is because he's finally starting to basically...
No, that happened. That's one of the things that we talked about at the end of the last commentary.
Yeah. So Ren's still in the middle of his super breakdown where he realizes he has to kill people, but he can't bring himself to kill people because he's not that kind of guy.
Now that he thinks he's killed people, he's gonna actually try to kill the people.
Yeah, because he basically killed Odin. Because he went up to Odin, and Odin was just like, "Oh, it's not the time to fight me, but I guess I will anyway for no reason."
He's like, he goes, "Now's not the time to fight me," and then Ren goes, "Well, nobody else is fighting me, and you're here right now, so I'm gonna fight you." And
Come at me, scrub.
And then so Odin just obliges him,
and then Odin dies. Well, one of them. The first.
Where do they even get that stupid bit of trivia? Oh my god!
It's probably something from something that we didn't consume. So basically, the thing is with Odin is that the Odin card deck erases the personality of whoever has it, and they just get replaced with Odin's personality. Like they just become a puppet.
Yeah.
And there is nothing in the show that ever suggests anything like that. They make us assume that Odin is Kanzaki Shiro
until they reveal that he's not.
With no explanation. And I'd argue that it doesn't really... By that point, with the reveal, it doesn't really matter. The
reason I have a problem with it is because during our internet searches, people keep throwing that out in Shiro's description is that he hands the Odin card deck to people to possess them, and I'm just losing my mind over this obscure bit of trivia until some point later I had no base to believe.
Yeah, it wasn't in the show, it wasn't in the movie, and it wasn't in the special. So as far as we know, that was something in a Japanese-only special story. What's SIC stand for again? One of those SIC stories that have random canon background knowledge that never comes up in the show. Like Shinji's dead twin brother.
Yeah. One of the parallel time verses of Ryuki, Shinji has a twin brother that one time when Shinji got attacked by a knife-wielding mugger, got in the way and then died.
We were honestly surprised that didn't end up being Asakura somehow.
we were more surprised that Asakura wasn't the knife-wielding mugger than we were that Shinji had a dead twin brother.
It's okay, Asakura makes it up to us later, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, all that extra bullshit aside.
So yeah, Ren is like, oh yeah, I killed Odin, so now I can kill other riders. But Kitaoka is no selling because he has the greatest rider. He has the greatest defense in all of this series. Just he doesn't feel like transforming half the time.
That's we've said it before and we'll say it again. The best defense in this rider war is just to not henshin.
Yeah, because for whatever reason, that just protects you from the Rider War. So, you know what? That's just you know what the monsters are? Excuses for the riders to henshin and go into the mirror world, and then the other riders to attack them while they're doing that.
Oh my god.
I figured it out. I cracked the code.
It's too bad that's never really what actually happens. But...
Yeah, that happens all the time.
No, but I mean, like, none of them go to the mirror world just to find a monster for their contract piece. It's always as they're protecting somebody else.
Always as the monsters show up.
It's always as, like, the monster shows up and they go to protect somebody that somebody else shows up and does it. So,
So Ren...
So, Asakura eventually gets to a harbor and...
Ren's there, and then Shinji's there.
Yeah, Ren's there, and, like, Shinji and Yui are trying to stop him, even though he looks like he's, like, half dying, dragging himself across the fucking way to get to Asakura.
But the reason they're trying to stop him is because after Ren beat one of the Odins, Shiro decides to partially grant Ren's wish of waking up his girlfriend from her coma for like a day or some shit like that. Or not, maybe not a day, but like a couple of days.
Yeah.
So she like wakes up and they're trying to, and Shinji and Yui are like, Ren, you don't have to do the thing animour. You don't have to kill yourself because
go check out your girlfriend.
Look how not dying she is anymore.
And so Ren fucks off.
And then Shinji starts fighting Asakura.
Yeah, and then partway through the fight, this is one of those great moments where the best move of all time happens.
No, hold on. Yeah, so in the middle of the fight, what is it? Asakura uses his Unite vent to unite his three monsters. We finally figured out the name of his crazy rhino stingray snake dragon thing. It's called Genocider.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. But then, suddenly, out of nowhere, you just see Freeze Vent. And it gets frozen. It's basically
everybody's like, Nani the fuck? And then you hear
Final Vent. And then just I don't know what the tiger's name is, but the tiger comes in and grabs Asakura and just starts dragging him along the ground for like half a mile. And then you just see Tiger standing there with his claws out, ready to do the heat end finisher. But then Asakura
just kicks the tiger and gets out of it. Oh my god.
Just like, see, that was that thing I was telling you. Because me and Alan were talking. He's like, man, if we were in that Rider War, we would jump in before the other person and just start loading up our final vent.
Oh, man. And like, he does it, but the problem is that his final vent doesn't facilitate it, though.
Yeah, his final vent is like, I don't know, second easiest to stop.
Yeah.
The easiest to stop is probably Kitaoka's.
Yeah.
He never actually... He barely gets to use it. I think he uses it like 3 times.
He uses it 4 times. 2 times it gets launched off, and 2 times it gets stopped before he can do it.
I was counting times it actually fired off.
It actually fired off. I think it only actually fired off twice.
Really? No.
No, 3. No, you're right. It is 3 times. Because first was against Ren and Shinji,
and then it was everything.
Then it was against Guy, Ren, and Shinji and Raya and Asakura.
Yeah, and then that didn't kill anybody, and there was nowhere near as much damage. And then, like here in this last stretch of episodes, he does it one more time, and it fucks everything,
except for all the people.
Except the people, yes.
Oh man. For as much damage as Kitooka's final event causes, it causes 0 fatalities.
It causes, yeah. In fact,
he has Akuma's kill count.
He's Akuma. I mean, his final event is called End of World.
God,
and it's nowhere. You know what has a higher kill count? Asakura's. No. Shinji's has a higher kill count on riders. Ryuga.
Oh,
I'm counting Ryuga.
So anyway,
we'll get to Ryuga later. So Tiger helps out Shinji. All right, so here's a really, really big problem with this scene. So Asakura gets knocked out essentially by something. Like he escapes the final event.
He escapes the final event, but it leaves he's still knocked out though.
Yeah, it was something like that. Something ends up with Asakura getting knocked out, and then Tiger walks away, and Shinji's like, "Wait!" And he's like, "Oh, whatever. I'm gonna take this guy back to the real world." And the cops were chasing Asakura, and they're there. And then it just cuts to Shinji, it cuts to Asakura being arrested again, and Shinji walking away.
Off to the side, walking away.
And it's like, how did no one stop Shinji at all?
It's like,
because
nobody stopped Shinji to ask him, why is he there? Why was he carrying Asakura's unconscious body?
No, because he's not off way to the side. He's there with the police cars and police officers surrounding the area. Yes, and he's in it.
Nobody seems to have caught him and Asakura coming out of the fucking police car window. That's the only reflective surface in that entire place that they have surrounded.
It was just like, we need a reason for Shinji to just walk away. Well, let's just not give a reason, have Shinji walk away.
I'd rather that than any stupid reason that they would have came up with. I bet they would have came up with a really stupid reason.
I don't know. So Shinji's just like, alright, those guys, they helped me, but they're not going to, let me ally with them. So I'm just gonna, keep trying to, do the thing. But the alternatives and Tiger are being mad sketchy. They're definitely not up to good. Even though they talk about being, we're gonna be a hero, AU Tameni, blah blah blah. For the sake of being a hero.
Yeah, and then we get.
Oh, we get that great question that Kagawa asks Shinji. Oh no, we don't get the question.
He did ask that question already. That's around the time that they first met.
Was it? No, because because the question that Kagawa poses to Shinji is, if you had to save one person or 10 people, or if choosing to save 10 people caused one person to die, or one person to cause the 10 people to die, who would you save? And then Kagawa just goes, the answer is obvious. A hero must have the courage to make sacrifices in order to save the many. He's talking about the many over the few.
Yeah.
And and Shinji just gets shaken up by it, because he all right. So he sees their resolve, and he's just like, damn, that is too much resolve. This pressure is keeping me down. So he kind of like backs off because it's just like that intensity kind of was just like, damn, because Shinji still doesn't really have a reason to fight. This late in the game, Shinji still doesn't have a real reason to fight.
He says that he's fighting to stop the Rider War all the time, but then anytime somebody with an ounce of resolve shows up and talks to Shinji, Shinji gets shaken up and he doesn't know what to say.
Yeah, he starts getting like wishy-washy, not wishy-washy, but he starts getting like indecisive. I guess that is wishy-washy, but like not wishy-washy.
Yeah, that's one of Shinji's consistent character traits, is that he's always indecisive.
It's disconcerting that it wasn't shaken off way earlier than it really was.
Yeah, he spends way more time down on this than he should have been, considering the fact that multiple people have already done this near exact same thing to him.
And he's on other occasions, because this is when he has his survive event, right?
Yeah, he already has it.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm gonna fight, and has he fought Ren with their survive forms yet, or is that coming up?
This is after that.
Oh, right, because they were at the amusement park, right?
Yeah, and then he. Oh man, Shinji has one of the best survive event cards.
He has. Oh yeah, his survive event card. Did we really talk about? Yeah, because this is right before Ren like fucks off and does his fuck shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like that's the point that Shinji should have found his reason to fight, to stop the Rider War, and he's gonna be, and he says to Ren, I'm gonna take all of your anger and hatred and all of your sorrow, blah blah blah, and whatever, and it's like that.
It's like literally, it's the opposite direction of the shining finger sword. It's like, I'll take all of your love,
your anger, and all of your sorrow. Yeah, he'll take it, not you taking it. He'll take it. So it's like, that is when he should have had like his super resolve moment and his super like whatever, but now he's starting to be shaken up again, and it's like that wouldn't be so bad if we weren't in the third act of the show, when things are supposed to be getting resolved. Characters are supposed to have like most of the characters should have their character arcs finishing up, and like I get that main characters usually don't have their arc totally done until the end of the show, but they're usually far more along the progression line than Shinji has been. Hell, Ren is further along the character progression line than Shinji at this point.
So,
because he spends the day with his not dead girlfriend anymore, and it's like, I literally turned to Alan and I go, this is the best Ren's character has been the entire show. Like, it is a really, really good scene. Like, he just, like, alright, so what happens is, Eri wakes up, and Ren sees her, and he just kidnaps her out of the hospital.
This is...
Oh, no, that doesn't happen yet. That doesn't happen yet.
That doesn't happen yet. He hangs out with her, and the doctor says, so, we don't know what caused her to go into a coma.
And we don't know what caused her to wake up.
We don't know what caused her to wake up. And her condition is exactly the same. So, and then they cut away, right? They cut away before the doctor says the thing that you can all infer, which is that in all likelihood she's gonna go back into the coma.
Yeah, she's just gonna relapse at basically any day now.
Yeah. Like,
this is just a super temporary thing, as far as they can tell. And so what happens is he starts spending time with her, and like a monster starts attacking, so Ren goes and henshins in front of her, and she sees it, so that she realizes what Ren's been. Basically, she like rolls.
So the lead up to that is that Yui visits her once, and then goes to talk about things that like Ren's whole like motivation to fight, and they have an off-screen conversation, which leads to Eri going like, I need to go, and I need to go, and then do something, which I think that she's heading toward the lab.
Yeah, but we never
partway
really know.
Through,
she can barely move, and
Yeah.
she gets really far from the hospital.
God.
Like, she gets, like, she is literally...
She should not be able to walk right now, and she's made it, like, what seems like halfway across the city.
Not only that, she is literally having to use, like, rails and walls and stuff to support herself walking, and somehow she got out of the hospital like that.
Oh my god!
In her what's it called? Patient get up.
I think they're just called nightgowns.
Whatever. It wasn't like just a nightgown. Like, it was like clothing, because she didn't have like the back end open or anything like that. But like,
anyway, she gets out.
She shouldn't have gotten as far as she did.
And then when they're all looking for her, and at one point, Darkwing shows up and just starts kind of fucking around in the middle of the day.
Yeah, just, and then Ren has to run up and say, "Darkwing, get the fuck back in the mirror world."
Yeah, he's like, don't touch her.
Which makes no real sense, but it triggers her remembering about Darkwing from the thingo.
Yeah, and then
from the experiment.
Then Ren takes her to the beach, and then they have a nice moment where
No, because they take her back to the hospital, and then he kidnaps her from the hospital to take her to the beach. Because I do remember Ren kidnapping her from the hospital. Like, she starts, I don't know, falling back under or something, and he, like, pushes all the doctors out of the way and picks her up and just walks out.
And then, when they all go, "Where are you going? He's taking that patient," and then Yui just emerges from that menagerie of doctors and goes, "No, it's okay."
And honestly...
No, she says, "It's okay, I think."
I think. Yeah. Honestly, I forgive that scene because it gives us a lot of really good scenes for Ren. Like, and these couple of episodes are really, really good.
They're at the beach, and then Eri says, like, "Hey, don't fight in the Rider War for me. Fight in the Rider War for you." So it basically gives him the go-ahead to fight in the Rider War without feeling bad about what his girlfriend would think. She just apparently doesn't care.
Oh, and also I'd like to point out that while this is happening, and Shinji is talking to the alternatives about being a hero, they start making, I think, who is it, Tojo or Kagawa? Someone makes a comment that Knight, or, Ren, isn't a hero.
It's Tojo.
Yeah, Tojo. He makes a comment that Knight isn't a hero because he doesn't fight for the sake of other people. He only fights for himself. And I go, bullshit, this entire time he's been fighting for the sake of somebody else. And then that's when I started realizing that, like, their logic is super twisted, and it was really good. It was basically like near perfect juxtaposition, like, because their lack of understanding. It was just really, really good. It was kind of in your face about it, but like it was good enough that I didn't care how blatant it was. It was just really, really good. I really liked it.
It's not 100% like bullshit logic, because Ren is selfishly fighting to save one person as opposed to getting rid of the mirror world, which would save a lot of people. That's where their logic comes from.
But I still think that logic is twisted in its own right.
Also, while we were watching, Scott looks at me and goes, How do they know about Ren? And I'm like, you do know that they could have just, I don't know, investigated these people prior to, like, showing up? Because it's not like they just got the rider powers and walked in the door.
Basically, that's what happened. But so we get that really, really good. And then
I feel like from this point forward, Ren is just an all-around better character.
Oh, he's way better. I mean, he's still a little too aloof for my taste, but it's like, whatever. I'll accept it. And it's I'm pretty sure it's right after that Alternative Zero attacks Yui, right? Like again. And what is it? Shinji's there to like fight him off, even though Kagawa specifically said, "Do not do anything reckless without my say so."
Yeah. And then
So as that is happening, out of literal nowhere, or all right. So one thing we forgot we kind of mentioned, but we forgot to actually expand upon is that Tojo, Tiger's actual user, ends up getting a part-time job at the cafe that Shinji and Ren live at. That Yui's grandmother's cafe, and Shinji is just like, man, you are being way too creepo about Yui. I have a really bad feeling about you. And Ren just is kind of too up. At this point, Ren's still too on himself to like pay attention or agree.
Yeah, Ren's fucking off doing shit with his girlfriend.
Oh yeah, that's when that's happening or something like that.
We get this scene that me and Scott both laughed at, where they're at the cafe and Yui is like doing her job, and then the scene is Yui's doing her job, Tojo is staring at her creepily, and then Shinji is staring at him concerned about it.
It was really, really funny. But
anytime we see Tojo just staring at something, usually is a funny scene.
Yeah, and then Tojo stops being funny pretty soon.
Yeah.
Because as Yui's, going about her day, Alternative attacks her again, the Patchwork Rider. And
wait. So
or was it?
Yeah, Alternative attacks her, and then both Shinji and Tojo go into the mirror, because this is when Shinji finds out that Tojo is Tiger.
Yeah,
and then they're fighting off
a monster.
Shinji's fighting off Alternative, and Tojo's not doing anything, or he's helping Alternative. One of those two. Really doesn't matter. What matters is that at the end of the fight, when Shinji's down on the ground and Alternative loads up his final vent, Tiger loads up his final vent. No, Tiger is doing something else.
Was it a monster?
I think Tiger's fighting a monster at that point. Because he's not there. I'm thinking that he's not there for the actual confrontation between Shinji and...
I wanna say that there is a monster after Yui right now, but I don't remember why.
The monster is the one that they made for their alternative deck.
That's it, sort of. Yeah, all right. Because remember, Ren isn't fighting Kagawa just yet.
So anyway, Nakamura loads up his the alternative Zero final event, and then Tojo just fucking counters it with his final event. Kills Nakamura
and hard murders him.
Hard murder.
And Shinji's just like, dude, what did you just do? And he's just like,
you know what? I take it back. I'm not gonna say you hard murdered Shinji, because after
you mean Nakamura?
Nakamura, because after what we've experienced recently, there's a new definition for hard murder.
Well, he didn't technically murder them in that, but he damn sure tried.
Set a scale. He set a new level though.
He was more brutal in that than he was in the show. But we'll get to that. This is something unrelated that we'll get to at the end. So Shinji is looking at Tojo and he's just like, dude, what are you doing? And Tojo's just like, I didn't trust Nakamura anymore. And he wasn't going to become a true hero.
And then he's like, but you killed another person. And then Tojo's like, I know, I know, and I'm really sad for it. And he's like, He's got the same emotionless stare, just with tears.
He's got the coldest, deadest look I've ever seen in live action television. like really cold and dead. And I've seen L in the live action Death Note series.
It's like I'm thinking that either this actor doesn't know how to act emotion, or he acted exactly what they wanted.
I think he just did exactly what they wanted. Like, it was... And then...
I like to think that he's, like, rehearsing... Or, no, he's, like, goes in for the audition, and he goes, I can do this.
And they're like, we want you to kill yourself on the inside. Just nothing. Just blank, dead
We want
face.
nothing from you. We just want you to be a body that says words.
God. I pulled it off, man.
Yeah, you did. Anyway, so then...
Kagawa was just like, dude, why'd you hard murder our comrade?
Why did you murder our friend?
And then
he goes, I didn't think he was being hero. And then he goes, God damn it, Hojo!
And Kagawa was just like, you know, this isn't really that good, but I'm gonna keep you around. And I'm like, no!
God,
do you hear what this kid's talking about?
God.
This kid, we get a scene of him just sitting and reading a book. He's reading Kafka.
Yeah,
like this kid reads Kafka in his downtime.
And then this was Scott's like, oh my god, he's a sociopath. My moment where I'm like, oh my god, he's a sociopath was the moment that he was trying to excuse the fact the other guy wasn't being hero, even though he literally just faked cried in front of Shinji.
God. Tojo. Oh my god. It's really sad too, because I kind of like Tiger's design, and I really like his final event. Even if it's the easiest stop or second easiest stopped one. It's the most stopped. It's stopped even more than I'm pretty sure it's stopped more than
they're tied.
Are they tied on Kitaoka's being stopped?
Yeah, they're tied.
All right, you know what? I'll say it's tied.
Wait, are you good? Wait, are you going? Kitaoka will win. Will win this if you technically count the last fight.
I'll technically count that.
Then Kitaoka wins.
Yeah, you're right. All right, so Zolda's final event technically is stopped more times than Tiger's, if only because Kitaoka was in the show for far longer than Tiger.
Anyway, so
after Tojo hard murders this is when Kagawa starts stepping up as alternative.
Yeah, the Aries back in the coma, and
Ren's got a renewed vigor to fight.
Ren gets a visit from Shiro, who says, "Hey man, Rider battle's off until you guys deal with this bullshit."
No, because Yui gets kidnapped and then the Rider War gets. But I thought that happened earlier.
Fucking
Yui gets kidnapped and then he turns off all of their contracts until the.
No, that is way earlier in the show, and that was when Yui got into an argument with Shiro and then just ran off.
Oh yeah, and then she was just.
But fucking,
my bad.
Fucking Shiro just says to Ren, like, man, it's like, I want you to deal with this before I continue the Rider battle, and he doesn't turn off contracts because they technically need them.
Yes,
and he goes, and then so Ren sees Kagawa, and then they fight, and they're like right before they're about to. No, they exchange final events.
Yeah, God, what, dude, honestly, Alternative is pretty cool, and he's got the XL vent, and he, like, wrecks Trick vent.
Yeah, fucking...
He alright, so Ren activates Trick vent and summons his shadow clones, which he summons more every time he uses the card.
Yes, and, fucking Kagawa's like, I've already memorized your fighting pattern, so this doesn't matter. And then he just destroys fucking Trick Vent.
Oh, he does the Excel Vent, and he basically flash steps around and wipes them all out.
Yeah.
Well, what
he wipes them out in what is he gets into a pose. His animation stops, and they slide him across the screen.
No, they slide him back and forth.
Yeah, they zigzag him across the screen
with the pose. It was actually pretty amusing and amazing.
Oh man, I mean, I admit at that moment I feel like I lost my shit more than you did though, because I pointed at it and I started laughing, and you were like, you had no energy at that point.
What was it? And then I think Ren goes survive because they do their final vent.
Yeah, he activates survive, and then they final vent each other, and then they're both thrown out of the mirror world.
No. I'd like to point out that Alternative's final vent is him jumping on his metal beast, or whatever, his metal beast.
Basically, what tells you that he has one of the strongest final vents is that his contract beast turns into a fucking motorcycle.
It turns it into a motorcycle, just like the survive cards. So they ram into each other. I'm like, there's no way his final vent is as strong as a survive final vent.
And then I looked at him and I said, I don't know, it turned into a motorcycle.
And it totally was as strong as a survive final vent.
Oh man.
But so no, isn't this also the reason he's fighting Ren right now is because Shiro sent a monster after his family.
No,
remember?
Not yet.
No, really?
Yeah. So then Ren then Kagawa's family shows up, and they're like, "Oh, hey, sweetie, hey, dad."
No. They show up.
No, they
first.
show up now. They show up right after this fight.
No. They show up before the fight, and then he's like, "Oh, I've got some business," and then they leave, and then Ren fights him. Yeah. I remember that specifically.
But anyway, the fight ends in a draw, and they both kind of fuck off.
Just like a lot of fights in this show.
Yeah.
God.
So then, Kagawa ends up at a pier for like no reason, and Tojo and Ren are both like Tojo and Ren are both riding up alongside each other.
Man, there's definitely something in the middle here that we're forgetting.
And Shiro goes, "I've sent a monster after your family." Ah, ha, ha, ha. And
he does an evil laugh. Shiro does not do an evil laugh.
I know, it would make him a more interesting character if he did.
No. Honestly, one thing I do really like about this show is Kanzaki Shiro, his character, like him just popping up in like the dirty ass trench coat all the time, just saying "Tatakai," just that super deep voice "Tatakai."
At this point, I'm just kind of annoyed. That's all he does, and
I love it.
And he goes, "Oh, I sent a monster after your family." And then Kagawa goes, "Do you really think I care?"
No. That is not how that scene goes. How it goes is, all right, I'm going to send a monster after your family. Now, if you don't stop trying to steal the mirror world, I won't stop the monster. And your family will die.
Yeah. And then this is when Ren and Tojo show up from around the corner.
Yeah, and they immediately
on their motorcycles. And then they stop, take off their helmets, and Tojo responds, "Do you really think that's gonna provoke Professor Kagawa Sensei
from stopping?"
And then I look at Scott and I go, "There is no way they know what Shiro just said. They just showed up on motorcycles."
And I just reply that obviously Kanzaki Shiro is just being a douche, so like, what does it matter? They're already on it. They're already against him. So yeah, that's how the conversation's going. Shiro is just like, "Stop or your family dies," and Kagawa's legit just like he's having to decide. And Tojo says that he's like, "You really think that'll stop Sensei? Sensei would never." Or he has the courage to sacrifice his family for everyone because he's a true hero. And Ren is just like, "Are you fucking insane?" and then
Kagawa is like,
and then he henshins, and Ren is super pissed. He is just like, "You've lost yourself."
And then this leads to a big ass fucking
huge fight
gathering of everybody.
So no, but while so Ren is fighting off Tiger and Alternative, but then Shinji shows up and he says,
No, not yet.
No.
There are way more people that show up before Shinji does.
Asakura and Kitaoka show up?
Yeah, this is when Asakura shows up. Asakura shows up and he goes, I just want to fight. And then all the gazelles show up.
No, this is not when that happens, is it? Is it when all the gazelles show up?
Yeah, it's when all the gazelles show up.
You're right. All the gazelles show up.
I was like, because this is the episode that the gazelles just show up, and I looked at Scott and I said, "Hey, can we watch one more episode?" And then can we watch one more episode? Because my boy is showing up, and then Scott was like, "No," and then we didn't watch another episode.
But it's okay. It's okay. I made it up to you by watching a whole bunch of episodes. Anyway. Like, we blasted through this, like, back end of the series. We blasted through, like, the last 10 episodes in, like, a couple of days.
It was 6 episodes, and then the movie.
Was it?
And the special, yeah.
No, because we watched the 3 episodes, and then we watched the last 4 episodes, and then we watched the movie, like, in 2 days. And half of the special.
Oh, yeah.
So we blasted through like 10 episodes.
I thought you meant specifically on that last day.
No.
Anyway, so all the gazelles show up, and they all start fighting the riders.
And then Shinji shows up.
No, don't. Kitaoka shows up on a bridge, and he summons Giga, whatever,
Magna Gigas or some
Magna
shit.
Gigas, and then he's gonna final vent.
And he's just like, "Hi, I haven't done my final vent."
He goes, "I haven't done my final vent in a while." And how convenient! They're all in that general direction.
But unfortunately for him, the gazelle stops.
A random gazelle just sucker punches him in the face.
Stops the shit out of that nonsense. Like, God, he was about to fuck up everything. No one would have died though, but still.
And then Shinji shows up
in survive mode, I'm pretty sure.
In survive mode, and says, this is when he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna try to save as many people as I possibly."
No. So what happens is he goes up to Kagawa and he goes, "Kagawa, your family is safe, so don't worry about it." And Kagawa just like looks at him and he goes, "I didn't save them for any other reason other than I wanted to." And it was at this point I wanted Shinji to answer his earlier question with, "When you asked me if I'd save 1 person or 10 people, my answer is I'd save all 11. I wanted him to say it so fucking badly, but he didn't, and I was a little butthurt that he didn't answer with the true 100% hero answer that I wanted him to have.
Yeah, and then...
I mean, it's implied, but I wanted him to say it. It's different when they say it.
Then they beat all the gazelles, and then everybody fucks off.
Well, I think it was that time limit deal that just makes no sense, but makes sense, but is there, but shouldn't be there because it doesn't make sense. You know that thing, the time limit. The super arbitrary.
They beat all the gazelles and everybody fucks off.
Pretty sure it was the time limit.
Wait,
why is Asakura there again? Wasn't he in jail again? I think.
We skipped his entire actual breakout.
Yeah, we definitely skipped that. Asakura breaks out of jail again.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise. The hard murdered people. I don't think he murdered anyone that time.
No, he didn't murder anybody.
What he did was, he gets a new lawyer aside from Kitaoka, and this guy's an idiot, and he's just like, "You have this guy in a straitjacket and a dog muzzle. You're treating him like he's not human." And we're just like, do you not know who the fuck this guy is or what he did? Do you not know anything?
Clearly, they said they appointed him, they just appointed him because he's like a public defender or something like that. And then they're like, but then they don't hand to him Asakura's entire dossier of past crimes.
Well, for whatever fucking reason, he he thinks that he can talk to Asakura. Like, I mean, I get maybe he thinks he can talk to Asakura, but like, if he read that dossier...
No, there's no way he read Asakura's dossier and can fucking cry for Asakura.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah, he was like... And so he was just... So Asakura goes, all right, if you really want to help me, bring me my card deck. Bring me the purple deck thing with my stuff. And he goes, oh yeah, sure, whatever. There's, you know...
Well, at first he's like, I don't think I can do that. And he goes, well, you should be able to just get it and show it to me. And he goes, oh yeah, I guess I'll have to do it. And then Kitaoka walks in and runs interference.
Oh, he was just like, yeah, this guy isn't me. If I'm 100, then this guy's like a 1.
Yeah, Kitaoka comes in, runs some serious hard interference, but it doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter because the guy shows up and he goes, he's talking to a cop as they're walking through the prison, and he goes, I think they call him sensei because I think that's how they address attorneys.
I don't know, whatever.
Anyway, the cop is talking to the attorney. He's like, you shouldn't be going back here. Blah blah blah. And he goes, no, but this is a whole thing of basic human rights. Blah blah blah. Just let me go talk to him. And then the cop just lets him go. And it's like, oh my fucking god.
And then Asakura breaks out of jail, and then that's why he's there when the Gazelle thing happens.
Yeah, and that's the reason why he's there when the Gazelle thing.
we don't really got to go into it that much, but yeah, Asakura breaks out of jail, he gets back into jail, then he breaks out of jail again, then he gets back into jail, and then he breaks out of jail again.
If any of our favorite cop characters were in this series, that never would have happened.
Even if Hikawa, and Hikawa is a klutz.
Hey, say all you want about Hikawa being a klutz. He's like
infinitely smarter than
he would not have klutzed up anything related to actually doing police work. That is the one thing that he never fucked up on.
Yeah, I know, it was great. Yeah, so that just like brings up the thing of like, it's really interesting because like as we watch from Kuga to Agito to Ryuki, we finally get this is the Rider series where we first get a Rider, or where we first get like not an important cop character. Like, we don't get a cop character that's important. We get lawyers, or a lawyer, but we don't get a cop, which is interesting. It's interesting from that progression.
I mean, going forward, we don't
ever see any more cops
until Drive.
Damn, that's really far away. It's like 10 more years of Riders.
Unless your definition of cop loosely includes time police whose sole jobs is to make sure the time-space continuum doesn't get erased.
Oh, then you're talking about Deno?
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. I'm talking about
I'm not talking about specifically. I'm talking about Cho Deno.
I'm talking about the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department.
Yeah, then we don't get it till Drive.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, my bad. Double.
Huh.
Yeah, double.
Anyway. So, yeah. So then this is after this that we meet our Gazelle Rider. Kamen Rider Emperor. Not Emperor, Emperor. And
he's great.
He's super great. I loved him from second one. So at first I didn't recognize him as the suck up valet in that parking garage. At first, because I was like, why the fuck are we looking at this kid in a fucking parking garage? And then I realized it's him later on. Yeah. But he basically walks into the cafe and he goes, "You guys, I'm a Kamen Rider too. You're my senpai."
No, he doesn't say all that yet. He hands them a business card.
He hands a business card to Shinji that just says Kamen Rider on it. Well, it has his name too. I don't even remember his name.
I don't remember his name either.
Satoru or something like that. I think it started with an S. Sano. But whatever. He hands Shinji a business card that says he's a Kamen Rider.
It says the title of the business card is Kamen Rider Emperor.
And he's just like, "You're my senpai," and I go, "Oh, is this sweet summer child our new rider?" And then it's very clear he's not a sweet summer child. He's not an adorable, precocious young Kohai-kun. He's actually a scummy snake in the grass, and it's great anyway. He starts, like, talking to them. He's like, "Yeah, I saw you guys fighting, and I realized that there were, cliques in the Rider War, and I want to join you guys." And they're like, "Yeah, we could use more allies. Yeah, that'd be pretty nice." And then he goes, "How much are you going to pay me?" And they go, and Shinji just goes, "What? Yeah, how much are you going to pay me? I don't do this for free." And they're like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Ren's like, who?
Oh,
Ren was already wanted to kick him out before this.
Yeah, Ren just picks him up and throws him out the door, essentially.
Yeah.
Then he immediately goes to the alternatives.
Yeah, he immediately goes to the alternatives.
And he starts buttering them up, jacking them off. "Yeah, you guys are my senpai. I really like smart guys like you. I've always admired intellectuals and all this, that, and the third." And he's just like, so... and by the way, during their initial conversation, Shinji was an idiot and mentioned Yui. Because he mentioned Yui. So then Emperor is just like, "So you guys want to know about Yui, right? I know some things." And they're like, "Well," and then Kagawa was just like, "Well, since Tojo here hard murdered our last friend, we need some more help."
And then he go, before they actually contract him, he go like a mirror beast shows up, and then he goes, "Hey, let me give you a free demonstration on how strong I am." And then he fights the mirror beast and then beats it. And then Shinji shows up. And he's just like, "Man," he's like, "Oh yeah, senpai, I'm really strong. Do you want to hire me?" And Shinji's just like, "Oh man, what am I gonna do with you?" And then as Shinji is doing this, fucking Tiger just charges Shinji from behind.
Both Alternative and Tiger.
No, just Tiger. Alternative just watches Tiger do it.
Yeah, but they walk up from behind him, and then Tiger, starts attacking Shinji, and then Shinji was like, "Dude, what are you doing, just standing there?" And he's just like, "Well, you didn't hire me yet." He goes, "What's it?" He goes, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "What?" It's like, he goes, "Help me!" And he goes, "You can do it, senpai. I believe in you." Oh man, it was so good.
Oh man.
But it's after that Emperor is talking to Tojo and Kagawa, and he's just like, "So what do you guys think?" And Tojo is just like, "You were cheering on that other guy back there. You're not a true hero," or something like that. And everyone's just like, "Tojo, chill the fuck out."
Then
Kagawa writes up a contract.
Before he writes up the contract, he goes, like, they tell him to leave. Then he leaves, and then he talks to Shinji again. And then Shinji says, "Well, all we can offer you is food and tea."
Yeah, he's like, "Oh yeah, all right. If you help us, then we'll offer you free food and drink at this cafe." And Shinji like turns away, and like Emperor kind of like, yeah, that's pretty good. And then Shinji like turns away, and then Emperor just like gets this disgusted look on his face, like, "Are you fucking serious, guy?"
Well, so far it's the best offer he has.
I know, but still, that's what he's doing.
Yeah, he's like, "Fuck, no money." And then this is when Shinji tells him that they're after Yui, because
then he goes and uses
then he
Yui.
goes back to Kagawa's group and goes, "Oh, I know that you're after Yui and stuff." And he
goes, and then there's a point where he goes after Asakura. And
no, not yet. This is way later.
Really?
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah. Then he goes back to Kagawa.
Oh no! But he does go to Kitaoka.
No, not yet.
Yeah. He does, but he's going.
Not yet.
No, he's going around to all of them.
He gets the contract. He gets the contract from Kagawa first, and then
no. But when everyone's turning him down, he goes to all of them.
No, he doesn't. Not yet.
Are you?
He doesn't. Go,
I know when you're talking about.
He does go to them, but he doesn't go to Kitaoka until after the thing we're about to talk about.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% sure.
Right. I know what you're talking about now.
So he gets the Kagawa signed or makes a contract for him, And then Yui gets pulled into the mirror world again, and Shinji goes to protect her. And then there's a three-person team of Emperor, Tiger, Alternative against him. And he looks at Emperor and goes, "What the fuck? I thought we had a deal." And he goes, "But they offered me money for real."
Yeah, they offered me a better deal. And we're just like, man, you are a scum. You didn't even tell Shinji to, like, that you called off your contract. Which is really funny later.
Yeah, fucking, like, I'm looking at the screen and I'm like a Scott and I go, man, it's like, this goes against all business etiquette. You're supposed to inform the first person you contract with that your contract is over before you as you sign the other contract. And Scott looks at me like I'm fucking losing it.
And then I realized why. Oh my god. So yeah,
the monsters go to attack Yui, and then Yui goes into a trance, and then Mirror gods it up and tells the monsters to attack everybody else.
Yeah, she has the monsters, including the Alternatives contract beast, which was made by them, and has the monsters attack the other riders.
Yeah.
Which happened to include Shinji at one point.
It was after they fended off all the other riders when Shinji was trying to...
snap her out
of it. And then she had the monsters attack Shinji, and then she fucked off.
And Shinji's trying to tell Ren about it, and Ren's just like, "That's impossible. You're fucking insane. You're dreaming. There's no way." Oh my god. And is that? No. It's not until a little bit later that Kagawa things happen. Or Tojo things happen, I should say.
They go looking for Yui, and then Shiro finds Yui in the mirror world and tells her that she shouldn't be there. And then she starts saying some things, and they're going back and forth talking about things.
And she like summons a giant group of monsters, and then Shiro just like holds them back with like a glare.
Shiro lets out his Emperor Haki and fucking tells all of them to fuck off.
And they kind of do.
And then all the monsters start fighting each other.
Oh yeah, he like I don't know, whatever. It's not explained, but whatever.
And then he gets her out of the mirror world, and then Shinji finds her in the middle of the woods where there's conceivably no mirrors that she should have spawned out of.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
And she totally forgets about everything.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that now she's dissolving.
Yeah. Then we get... I forget the setup to this fight, but then there's another fight that has Alternative, Tiger, and Shinji...
Fighting.
And I think Ren is there, maybe? I don't remember all the specifics of this fight. The only important part of this fight is that they all get split off, and then when Alternative is just kind of standing there, fucking Tiger...
No. It's when Alternative is about to finish off Shinji. That he like stops that from happening.
No, this is... No, the one that you're thinking of is the other one. When Naka, whatever the fuck his name is, was Alternative.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm thinking that there's another fight happens where all the fucking Alternative, Tiger, and I forget who the other people that are there are. But anyway, the end result of this fight is that
Tojo hard murders the shit out of Kagawa Sensei.
Yeah. And then he goes... He says to Kagawa, "I don't want to end the Rider fight anymore because I think this will help me be a hero." And then he kills Kagawa.
Yeah, and his logic has truly become the corrupted version of what Kagawa had always been trying to teach him. Because Kagawa has always been saying a hero must have the courage to make necessary sacrifices for the sake of the people. But then Tojo somehow like mutates that into, if I sacrifice people, I will become a hero. Like
the lead up to this is Kagawa is trying to teach Tojo
humanity,
the importance of having connections,
and the importance of human life by taking him to dinner with his family.
And Tojo twists this logic into somehow he twisted into I must form connections
and then
sacrifice those connections,
and that is how I will become the strong. And, he's literally just carrying his sensei's dead corpse as it dissolves in the mirror world.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus, this kid.
Now we get the part.
So now that, since Kagawa's dead, Emperor no longer has a contract with Tojo, because Tojo's not going to pay him. Because Tojo don't like his ass. Because he's basically a guy for hire. So first he goes back to the cafe to see Shinji. And I'm like, Shinji better tell this man to get the fuck out.
Shinji immediately attacks him.
He beats the shit out of this guy. I was like, this is even better than what I wanted. I had just wanted Shinji to be like, no, get the fuck out. I don't want to listen. I don't want to look at your stupid face.
Shinji beats him up and kicks him out.
I was like, wow, this is the most alpha Shinji has ever been. This is great. It never happens again, but it was great.
Yeah, and fucking
Shinji got
Emperor is running away while apologizing.
Like he realizes now that he fucked up and he can't go back to Tojo. So he goes to Kitaoka. And Kitaoka's just like, the fuck out of here.
No, the best part is that fucking Emperor is doing the same thing that he did to everybody else. He's going, "Oh, senpai, suck your dick," and then Kitaoka goes, "Look," he goes. He goes, "Look at me. I know what you're doing. I played this game too. It's not going to work on me. Get the fuck out." And he goes, and then he goes, "Could you at least write me a letter of recommendation?" And then he goes,
"You know what? Yeah,
sure. You know what? Yeah."
So he writes a letter of recommendation
and tells it, and the best part is he just writes the letter of recommendation, hands it to him, and then he just leaves with it. We don't get told anything else about it.
All we know is that now he's going to Asakura
because that's the last person left on the list.
Yeah, so he finds this homeless man. I'm like, does he really think this homeless psychopath is going to be able or willing to pay him? Whatever, he's got no shot left.
He goes, "Oh, senpai!"
Because the reason he's trying to make these contracts is because he's got to feed his monsters, right? Or something like that.
No, he's just doing it. He's just doing it for money.
Right. That comes later.
Yeah,
that what I'm thinking of. But yeah, he goes up to Asakura and he's just like, "Oh yeah, senpai, da 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 da. Let me give you a shoulder rub," because Asakura is like beating up a fence with a lead pipe or some shit like that. He's doing something insane. Yeah. And Sano or Emperor or whoever is just like super hesitant about any of this. I'm like, man, why are you not dipping the fuck out now?
He hands. "Oh, I got this letter of recommendation
from Kitaoka senpai."
And then Asakura's like, "What?" And then he looks at it, and then
he's fool.
Then he's like, as he's looking at it, he just turns it to what's his face, and it just says "fool" on
just it. Fool in huge text. And he's just like, are you making a joke or something? And he
Emperor dips the fuck out.
He dips the fuck out before Asakura can hard murder the shit out of him.
Now we get the bit of Tojo.
All right. So it's about this time. I'm really sick of Tojo's shit. I'm like, we know more about Emperor than we do about this hero spouting kid. And I would like it if we got anything about him. Even one throwaway line about him as a character beyond this twisted logic that he's upholding. And that's what I'm talking about at this point. And then
Kitaoka and Reiko are hanging out on a date, or not on a date.
She's trying to talk to him about Asakura's transfer, about how Kitaoka had said, don't have any reflective surfaces next to Asakura.
Yeah, and then she's attacked
By the tiger.
And then Kitaoka jumps in the mirror world, and him and... Oh, wait, this is that really cool bit where they're like, he walks up to the glass of the building right next to him, and Tojo is just right there on the other side.
Oh, yeah. And I had really wished that they had done a really cool thing with that, where they both walk through the mirror and come out like in their rider forms on the opposite end. Like it's hard to describe verbally, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to talk about. They're on opposite sides of a pane of glass in their human forms, and when they henshined, what I wanted was for them to walk through the glass and then exit on the opposite ends in their rider forms. That's what
the one that the specific of what you explained to me is you wanted them to go into a punch and into the mirror.
No, I didn't say punch. I never said punch.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
You wanted them. You wanted them to go punch each other and then realize that
no, I did
turn
not.
Around.
I didn't say that. I promise you, I didn't say that because that's not what I wanted. I know what I wanted, and I wanted that cool thing to happen.
Regardless of our argument, they're in a fight.
Regardless of that, yeah, they start fighting. And in this fight, or is it when they're fighting or in their human form that Kitaoka says the harder you try to become a hero, the further away from that goal you get?
It's after the fight.
Well, hold on. I don't...
It's after the fight because...
They're in their human forms, right? Yeah.
This is the fight where Kitaoka gets beaten by Tiger, and then Asakura shows up, and Kitaoka has this bit where he's like, "Man, am I getting weak compared to all these new blood riders that are showing up?"
Yeah, I like how at one point. Who is it? Someone's asking him about like riders, and he's just like, "Man, there are so many new riders. I don't have time to keep up with them."
Yeah, it's Asakura because Asakura is looking for Tojo.
That's right, because he don't like that kid.
Yeah, this one of our favorites. It's one of my favorite scenes, and maybe one of your favorite scenes. I hope is when Shinji is at work. And Asakura just walks in the door.
Oh yeah, Asakura just... Oh, it was a great scene. Just Asakura just walks up to Shinji. He's like, "Hey, let me talk to you." And Shinji was just like, "Yeah, okay." And his entire staff, all of his coworkers are freaking the fuck out, calling the police. And he's just like, "Where's Tojo?" And he's just like, "Oh, I wouldn't tell you even if I did know."
And then Asakura leaves, and then all of his coworkers show, "Shinji, we came to protect you." And then Shinji
they're all in like battle gear, having like hockey sticks and whatever.
And then Shinji goes, "It's okay, he's gone." He goes, "But wait a minute, if you guys came here to protect me, why are you on that set of stairs?" Camera pans out, and there's two sets of stairs right next to each other, separated by 5 feet of air. And they're like, "Oh, so you're all right."
That scene was so good. I forget exactly why Asakura is after Tojo.
Because of when Tojo almost final vented him.
Oh yeah, dude, Asakura can hold some fucking grudges.
Yeah,
like that time Kitaoka only got him 10 years in prison for hard murder.
Yeah. Then we get a bit where then after that we get the bit where Kitaoka fights Tiger again, and it's during this second fight I think that he says the line.
Yeah, he's talking
because Kitaoka is winning the fight as opposed to losing like last time because he's gotten back up. He's gotten his skill back up. He's not suffering from cancer at this particular second.
No, he's definitely suffering from the cancer.
Whatever, he's overpowered. If he didn't have cancer, he'd probably be the best rider. Let's be honest.
Yeah, you're right.
And
if his final event was a little bit faster. and killed people.
Yeah, and then he tells them like the minute you try to be a hero is the minute that you don't qualify. And
it was really good. Kitaoka would know.
Yeah. And then Asakura shows up and beats up Tiger. Tiger's trying to run away like a punk ass bitch because he can't beat Asakura.
Because he is a punk ass bitch.
Yeah. And he jumps off of some railing into some water to like hide. And then this is when Emperor spots him and then takes him into his home.
Yeah, and he's super nice to him. And he's just like, yeah, I know I don't have much, but whatever. And he's just like, anyway, I gotta get to go to work. I left you some food. Or no. He's taking care of him, and then he gets a call that says, my dad died.
Like, he gets the call, and then he hangs up the phone, and like they don't look at each other. He just goes, my dad's dead.
And it's just like, wow. His just like sheer disbelief was palpable. Like his disbelief just because he had been talking about all of the misfortune in his life. Alright, so I'd also like to point out that when I had said I wanted any single throwaway line to give insight to Tojo's character, we get it
right now.
Yeah, we get it like right now, and Tojo says, or because I think Emperor says like, oh, why are you a writer or something like that, or why do you want to become a hero?
No, he goes, why do you want to be a hero? And then Tojo's response is, well, if I'm a hero, then I'll be popular.
Then people will like me.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all we ever get. And I was mad because it's exactly what I said I wanted, but it was exactly what I said I wanted. A single, vague, throwaway line. It was what I wanted, but it was what I wanted.
Hey, maybe you should have said, I want a flushed out backstory for... I don't know, you fucked up. You said the bare minimum of what you wanted. You should have said what you actually wanted.
I said the bare minimum of what I wanted, and I got the exact bare minimum of what I wanted.
You got exactly what you asked for out loud.
So it turns out the Emperor's dad is fucking loaded.
The reason why Emperor wants money is because he comes from a wealthy family and he was kicked out. He was kicked out 2 years ago so that he could become more worldly and more deserving of the position that his father was going to.
And I was saying, like, man, he should have kicked him out a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Because he's still a little money grubbing kind of snake kind of person, but he's decent enough. Yeah. Like he's not a terrible person. I mean, he's scummy, but he's not like a psychopath.
It's weird when he's poor, he's scummy. When he's rich, he doesn't care about being scummy.
He doesn't try to see. That's it. All he was doing was being scummy about getting rich quick, but he wasn't. But now that he's rich, it doesn't matter. Unfortunately for him, he still has to be a writer because he's talking to Tojo, and he's just like, "Hey, Tojo, if you it's like you fight because you want a wish, right? Well, what happens if your wish comes true before the fight's over?" And Tojo doesn't have a real answer. And then Emperor is just like, Tojo, we're friends, right? And Tojo's just like, yeah, we're friends. Or he doesn't really give an answer.
He just shakes his head yes, and it's just...
But the problem is that they're, like, out of sight of each other. So Tojo's just shaking his head yes. So, then,
Shiro shows up, and he goes, hey, man, about that Rider War, and he goes, but I already got my wish, so I don't want to be a Rider.
And he tries handing the card deck back, and then just... Shiro's
like,
Tatakai.
No, you have to fight.
You have to Tatakai.
And he goes, oh, don't forget, you have a bunch of contract beasts who are out to get you too. And he's like, he goes, fuck
me.
And he goes, fuck me. So then he goes to contract Kito. No, first he goes to contract Shinji.
No. I'm pretty sure it's Kitaoka first.
No, it's Shinji and Ren first.
Are you? Yeah. All right.
Shinji and Ren first.
So he walks up in his like new business suit. You know what's really funny about all this? I was really certain he was gonna get hyper fucked by like this board of directors that are like, oh yeah, your father writ you into in his will to be his successor, and we're gonna help you. Blah blah blah. I was like, corporate bullshit's gonna screw him over.
No, I feel like he would. I feel like he's smart enough to have gotten around that.
It's possible
because
we never really see him navigate through legal bullshit, though.
Yeah, because I think he would have been smart enough to be like, hey, I know you guys are trying to hyperfuck me, but here's the deal. If you just give me a bunch of money, I'll leave.
Or whatever. We never really see anything like that. But he's in his like dapper suit, and he's got his hair all slicked back, and he's looking nice. And he goes up to Shinji and Ren, and he's just like, I want to hire you to be my bodyguards. And he pulls out a briefcase full of money.
And then at first Shinji looks at it and goes, nah, fuck you. But Ren is just staring at the money.
Ren is super staring at the money. He doesn't even say anything. The whole scene, Ren is just staring at the money. So then Shinji and Emperor are like going back and forth. And at one point, he closes the briefcase. Shinji
closes the briefcase, says, fuck you and your money. And then Ren opens the suitcase. He huddles down and then opens the suitcase back up to look at the money again.
So Emperor's just like, well, I see that the negotiations are going nowhere. I'll be taking my leave now. So he locks the briefcase and starts walking away. But if
Shinji's like really mad.
He's like shaking his fist.
He's like shaking his fist at Emperor, and then Ren right next to him is still like staring at a diagonal angle. So you know he's just staring at the money.
If you follow his eyesight, his eyes are just locked on the briefcase full of money, and it's amazing. It was probably it's in my top 5 scenes of the whole show.
Yeah.
Anytime Ren isn't being a git and he's on screen is
he makes really good scenes.
He makes funny, like, remember with Kitooka and Megumi or whatever, and he hands him the wedding card, and he's like, don't invite me to the wedding, I won't go. Oh my god! That was so good. When Ren isn't being a git and he's on screen, he's probably the best one of the best characters. But sadly, he's a git a lot of the time, so it's like
whatever. So then
he goes to Kitaoka.
Then Emperor goes to Kitaoka, and he's like, then Kitaoka starts doing the scummy rub up on him.
Yep, he's like, yeah, I can pay you to be my bodyguard. And Kitaoka's like, Goro-chan, get our guests some tea, coffee
specifically.
Whatever. He's like, get him some coffee. All right, we could sit down here. We could talk and
see. When you're trying to hang out with somebody, you give them tea. When you're trying to impress somebody, you give them coffee.
Is that really how that works?
Yeah.
Oh. Where's the rules of etiquette for that? I've never heard that.
You have to have consumed a lot
of etiquette rules.
No, of Japanese media.
Oh, I've never seen that before.
It's really weird. So then he's like, "Oh yeah, we'll have to draft." Or Kitoko goes, "We'll have to draft up a contract," and then Emperor was like, "Yeah," and then Emperor walks away, and Goro's like, "Is this really okay? Aren't you supposed to be fighting him?" And he goes, "It's gonna take us like a year to."
No. Kitoka's just like, "Yeah, no, don't worry, I'll write up a contract. I just, maybe in like a year or two,
No. He goes, or no, that's not what.
No, he says. He definitely says.
He says it'll take a year, but he says it'll take a year because they're going to go back and forth with each other on terms.
No, he didn't. He said I'll write it up in a year. I will tell you to look it up right now.
Ooh, go and look.
Yes.
So he doesn't outright say it'll take him a year or two to write the contract. He just said he gets cut off before he can finish what he's going to say.
No. You don't.
It does not take. It does not take
a year. No, he's saying the line like, "Yeah, I said I'd do it. I just didn't say when I'd do it." That's how he's delivering this line. Not we're gonna go back and forth. He implies nothing about that because Goro says.
He also doesn't imply what you're saying either.
Yes, he does with his mannerisms and how Goro reacts. Goro says, "Sensei, are you sure you want to join up with him?" And then Kitaoka says, "Yeah, first we'll sign up a contract." Yeah, I've got time for that. He says, I've got time for that, maybe in a year or two.
Cut. That's not important right now. All we know right now is that they didn't do the contract and Emperor's fucked.
Oh yeah, Emperor is hyper fucked. I just want to get that across because it was a really funny scene for Kitaoka.
Yeah. Anyway, so then
tell us what you guys think. Who's right?
Oh man. Anyway,
leave a comment.
So nobody watches this. We're gonna get 0 comments. You know.
Oh, one day. Someone's really.
It doesn't
curious.
count if you do it, and I know you're our only subscriber.
Oh, bite me. Anyway, so yeah, Emperor is gonna get hyper fucked because they're really setting him up because now he's got like an arranged marriage with this really nice girl that he's like hitting it off really well with, and they're picking Emperor up so much. I'm like, even if you didn't tell me because Alan lets it slip that like Emperor gets fucked really hard later by Asakura. Spoilers, It's Asakura who hard murders him. The hard murderer hard murders him.
So he goes. He's on a date with
Yui or Yuri. Not Yuri.
The girl that he's gonna try to fucking marry.
Yuri or Saori or some shit like that.
And
doesn't matter.
His contract bees show up, and he goes, "Fine, I'll fucking do something." And then he's running. Oh, he's running up to he's chasing a car use the back window on the car to henshin.
And he henshins in front of his girlfriend, his new girlfriend.
Jumps into the mirror, and then he gets attacked by Tojo.
No. He's fighting he sees Shinji fighting a monster, and he just sends his gazelles after him. He's just like, yeah, eat up.
Yeah. Then he gets attacked by Tojo.
Then Tojo tries to hard murder him.
Yeah.
Final vent. And he just stabs him with his claws.
And then
and he's just like, "What are you doing?" And he's just like, "I'm sorry, but you're my friend, and I have to cut ties with you."
And then then he falls off a railing down a hill. And then he's like, "Man, what's that asshole thinking?" And then Asakura uses his final vent on him.
Yeah, he's just like, he just does it, and he destroys his rider belt, and he's just stuck in the mirror world because you can't escape without rider powers. So
yeah,
it was a really well done scene too, like because you have the girlfriend in the real world on the bridge, and he's on the bridge in the mirror world, just shouting out her name, trying to get her to see him because he's got like a piece of glass in his hand that shows like a mirror, and he's just like, I just wanted to be happy, and then he vanishes and he's dead forever.
You know what ruins this scene for me? It's the fact that is not a consistent rule.
What?
That you can't escape the mirror world without a contract.
Yeah, it is.
Because when Reiko and the computer girl are kidnapped by the monster, and they are found in the mirror world.
All right, that's me being really mad about the whole time limit deal in the mirror world, because they say that humans can't be in the mirror world for too long, otherwise they die.
And they were there for days.
For at least Reiko was there for at least a day, 2 days, like 24 hours. I'm like super bare minimuming. Like, even if the whole Reiko and Shima, like it was the arranged marriage deal with those really funny episodes.
Yeah.
But it was like bare minimum. Reiko was gone for a day. Even if we want to cut that, and I'm being like super bare bones with this. Even if we want to cut that down super hard, 12 hours, not even 12 hours. But there is no way they got this guy to go on, their guy, to go on 3 arranged marriage proposal date thingos in one day. There's no fucking way that they had him go, or not 3. I'm sorry, I'm not counting. I shouldn't count Reiko's. I'm counting 2, Shimada's and Yui's. There's no way they got him to go on 2 in one day. Yeah. I wouldn't believe it.
And see, if they didn't throw that line out, if Asakura didn't throw that line out that you can't, or somebody says it, if somebody,
I'm pretty sure it was Yui.
if somebody didn't throw that line out of humans can't be in the mirror world, I would have just accepted the fact that Emperor got hit by 2 final events. He's done.
I would have also accepted that. Like, because a lot of the time when we do see someone disappear from the mirror world...
They got hit by a finisher.
They got hit by a rider finisher, which is really weird. But I am 99% certain that Yui, like, in the first 5 episodes, says humans can't survive in the mirror world for too long, otherwise they start dissolving, or something like that. Even then... That also doesn't explain why the monsters just didn't outright eat them, like, right away, but, you know, whatever.
So anyway, Emperor's dead.
Emperor's hard dead. Super dead. Poor guy.
Tojo goes to fight Asakura again, and he goes, "This time, I'm a true hero.
I sacrificed another person.
I beat Emperor."
No. He didn't say that while they're fighting. He said that while he's giving Asakura a ride in a car.
Oh, yeah. No, well, my bad. They didn't start fighting yet.
No.
He gives him the ride.
But I forget why.
He goes, "How are you so... why are you going to let me in?" And he goes, "That's because I defeated Emperor, so I'm confident in myself. And I'm stronger and closer to being a hero now more than ever." And Asakura goes, gets a little giddy and then gets in the car.
I forget why though. It's not like right after this. It's like there's something that happens afterwards.
It's like a day later, and Asakura's being chased by the police again.
Yeah, and so they have that conversation. And what the fuck is Shinji doing again? Oh, no. This is before this, Shinji goes back to the lab to find Kagawa's documents. and you just see Tojo sitting there in front of a fire, and he's just like, "Hey, I'm here looking for more information about the mirror world." And then Tojo's just like, "Yeah, they're probably written in Dr. Kago and Kagawa Sensei's documents." And he goes, and Shinji's like, "That's great! Where can I find them?" And then Tojo's just like, "They're in that fire right there I just started." And Shinji's like, "Why?"
It's the best.
He was just like, "Why?" Because earlier, before Kagawa died, they packed up and left the what is it? That's why Kitaoka and Asakura were fighting that one time, because Asakura went to the lab, but they'd already packed up and left, and then Kitaoka shows up like right after. Kitaoka and Ren and Shinji show up like right after.
Yeah, and
they have that scene where they're all sitting down and they call Shinji an idiot.
Yeah, they're all like,
"Oh man."
At first this
is forever ago.
At first they're like, "Who says this about Shinji?" And then two of them raise their hands.
No, they call him,
and then Asakura's like, "I don't care."
No. They're like, "Do you think Shinji Hito is a good guy, or is a bad guy?" So then Kitaoka and Ren raise their hands, but then Asakura isn't, and Shinji's just like, "Oh, this murderer believes in me."
Asakura's like, "I don't care." And he goes, "Who thinks he's an idiot?" And then they raise their hands, and then he looks toward Asakura again. Asakura, at this point, just slowly turns around in the chair.
Because his back was to Shinji at first.
Yes. And then Shinji's like, and then Asakura starts raising his hand.
And then Shinji, like, gets some confetti thrown on him from out of nowhere, and he, like, sinks to his knees. And then they all just fuck off and leave, leaving Shinji to sulk on the ground. I don't know why, but that scene was really funny.
Yeah,
that scene existed.
Yeah.
It was really funny, even though it made no sense.
It was great.
But for Tojo, back to where we are.
At some point, Tojo picks up Asakura and goes, "You're a fucking putz. Get in."
Get in, loser. We're going fighting.
And they end up they're parked under a bridge. And Asakura's like, "Hey man, you didn't kill Emperor. I did." And he goes, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Did you actually see him vanish?" And then Tojo's like, and he goes, "Okay, loser, leave the car. I like it."
He's like, "Yeah, just get out of here. You're nothing." Also, leave the car. I kind of like it. As he kicks the shit out of it later.
Yeah. Then Tojo's, like, loses his fucking mind.
Yeah, he's, like, insane now. He's, like, he's like actually going nuts.
And...
More than just sociopathic apathy.
I think what happens next is he tips off everybody as to where Asakura is. And so they all show up. They all show up to fight him. And then Tojo starts covering the car that they used to henshin in gasoline. They beat up Asakura. Asakura gets acid spit on his face by his own snake because Kitaoka does a nicely timed dodge. And then they all hop out of the mirror world after, or Asakura hops out because he's beat up, and Kitaoka hops out because Asakura's not there anymore. And Asakura's gonna start the car and run away, but then when he starts the car, it gets lit on fire.
Yeah, he just wants to just set everything on fire now while laughing insanely.
And Goro showed up at some point.
Yeah, no.
Goro showed up
because he followed Kitaoka because he was worried.
Yeah, and then the explosion happens, and then
Asakura is trapped in this car.
Yeah,
this exploding car.
And then, while standing slightly too close to the car, Goro gets grabbed by a on fire Asakura.
Oh, hold on, wait. Did you mention the acid?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Sorry, I was looking at my phone for a second. I missed if you had said about the acid.
Yeah, I almost didn't mention it, and then I figured that you would have been upset if I didn't mention it, so I went back and mentioned it.
Definitely. Very important.
And then they leave.
this on fire car.
And then we'll walk after having set Asakura on fire. Tojo is just walking down the street. Then he sees a father and a child, which reminds him of Kagawa Sensei and his kid. And then there's a rampant truck running down the street. And he goes, "Watch out!" as he pushes the father and son out of the way and gets hit by the truck and dies.
Yeah, and he's just like, maybe in another life, I can be a hero. And then a newspaper flies by. This
is like page 15 of the newspaper. It says,
it's like, hero saves father and son, and it zooms in on the Japanese word for hero. In AU.
Yeah. And... God. What happens now?
Oh man, I don't remember. We're in the end game, and we don't... I don't fucking... Something about Yui not having a lot of time left because her birthday's coming up.
Yeah, I remember what happens now.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway...
So then
we cut
the dragonflies start showing up.
Yeah, we get to a bit where these new monsters show up, and they're like gray insectoid things. And they're attacking a shopping mall. They shoot needles into people's throats, and it causes string to come out. And the people are hung up.
Oh my
god, it's really gruesome.
It's horrifying.
And they start attacking a shopping mall.
Yeah. And all the riders show up. So we let's see. Yeah, Shinji.
We get the announcement that there's 6 riders left, and it's like Shinji, Ren, Asakura, Kitaoka, and then Fem shows up. She busts in from the ceiling and starts fighting all the monsters in the shopping mall that they're fighting.
Yeah, and then she sees Asakura, and she goes
"Yeah, Asakura!"
And he's just interesting. And then he backhands her away, essentially.
Yeah, he says her name. She goes, "Oh, whatever, Miho."
Yeah. Masashi Miho or some shit like that.
Yeah.
and they fight off all the monsters from the shopping mall. And then it's Kanzaki Shiro like all summons them all to a church and says, "Jikan wa nai, time limito."
Yeah,
time limito.
Yeah, and then wait. Before this, Shinji and Reiko are doing the investigation behind a guy who's
swindling a girl of a rich family,
swindling girls, and when they show up, it turns out that it was the other way around. The girl is swindling the
swindler. He was a swindler, but she was also swindling him.
Yeah, and
she steals Shinji's wallet because he's an idiot and throws it on the ground.
Yeah, he goes to pull out his business card like it's a police badge, and he throws his wallet onto a nearby table.
God, Shinji, you're a fucking moron.
And then she runs away and steals his wallet and uses it to buy a drink.
Not all of it though.
Yeah,
because she does have him drop a bunch of coins as Kitaoka walks up.
When he goes to like get his wallet back, she goes, "Oh hey, it's you. Here, have a drink on my on me." And
then my god.
Then Kitaoka rides by and sees that some shit's happening. And he goes, "Oh, that's that girl." And then some monsters, or her ex, or the guy who she was swindling shows up.
And it turns out murdered by monsters.
The same gruesome needle shooting, thread hanging monster. Because apparently there's like 50 billion of them.
There's all of them.
And
then we find out that Miho is Kamen Rider Femu.
Yeah, and her contract beast is
a swan.
A swan. It's
called Blankwing.
Yeah, and anyway,
and she's visually a counterpart to Knight as a white-clad Knight-based rider with a saber, and a Blankwing as opposed to Darkwing.
I never honestly put any of that together.
It was super obvious.
Oh yeah, she is the opposite of Ren, because she actually likes Shinji. Oh man.
Basically, yes.
Anyway, they hop into the mirror world, and so does Kitaoka, and they're all fighting the monsters. And then it gets to a point where there's just too many monsters, so then they cut away and they're not fighting the monsters anymore.
Yeah, and then that's when Kanzaki Shiro summons them, and then we find out that Miho's sister was murdered, but also maybe not murdered by Asakura because she's cryogenically frozen or something.
He explains the time limit, and then he tells them to fight in the mirror world. So then they all hop into the mirror world and start fighting. And I want to say that their fight gets interrupted by the monsters. No.
It gets interrupted.
Kitaoka shoots his final vent.
That's right.
And then they all hop out.
When does Ryuga show up? A little bit.
It's later.
Oh, okay.
And fucking.
A little bit earlier
this is when she explains that her sister was killed by Asakura.
Right. But I was going to explain something about Asakura beating up a certain somebody that we know and love.
Oh yeah.
So one of our early on in the episode because I don't know, Asakura got like slightly nudged on the street, or someone looked sideways at him funny.
We can only assume this because when the camera cuts to him, it's on the tail end of him beating up somebody, and I looked at the screen and I was like, "That's Ryo," and then Scott's like, "No, it isn't." Because the cut that I looked at was like the camera, like the angle the camera was looking at him. I could see Ryo, but the next cut that we get is like off to the side and like kind of hard to tell who he is.
And his face is like twisted in pain.
Yeah, and Scott's like, "Nah, that's not him."
I was like, "You're only saying that because his hair is like the same."
Yeah, and then after this Rider fight with Shiro,
What is it?
Eventually,
After they all fuck off.
Yeah. Eventually, we get the scene where we get to meet where we see that Miho is visiting her sister's corpse, which is cryogenically frozen, and the scientist says, "Maybe pretty soon we'll be able to revive the dead." I just want everybody to know that this comes out of nowhere, and at the same time goes just about as much nowhere.
It goes a little bit less than nowhere. It's never brought up again.
Yes. Then Miho finds Asakura as he's fighting some monsters in the mirror world, and Kitaoka shows up, and he goes, "Hey, you should stay away from him. He's dangerous." And she goes, "Eat a fucking dick." And
remember when Shinji was like, "Oh, Rider is no job for a woman."
Oh, God.
I was like, that's sexist.
And so, she strikes Kitaoka's hand, which is like weirdly emphasized, and then
because his hand's broken now for the rest of the thing, for the rest of the show.
Then she goes to fight. Then she goes to fight Asakura. And when she goes
no, we're forgetting the scene where she calls up Shinji and has him go to the
no, it's after.
No,
after.
No, because then they have the date. After he saves her,
she calls him up to get him to go to a restaurant where one of her exes is trying to get back with her, and then after that she gets into a fight with Asakura.
But we see
it's after.
No, we see another familiar face at the Thai restaurant.
Oh yeah, at the Thai restaurant.
We see so this is
when they're at the Thai restaurant. This is like when they go to leave, and they're like the restaurant staff goes. I hear the voice from the restaurant staff as I'm reading the subtitle go like, "Oh hey, the person that you guys were just with said that or paid your bill," and I go. I looked up at the screen, and I looked at Scott, and I go, "That is Shinichi! That is Shoichi!" And he goes, "Are you sure?" Like, he's still not convinced of my...
I was... It looked a lot like him, but I was like, are you kind of... Like, I don't want to sound racist, but sometimes Japanese actors can look a little samey. A little bit.
I've gotten past that. I have gotten past that, having been watching Kamen Rider for years at this point.
You're absolutely correct. Like, sometimes they do look a little samey, and like, from where I am. But like, are you sure? Because I'm actually good at picking out voices, but I'm not good at picking out faces yet.
And then,
no. All right, before he says that, he says that is so close to that is Shoichi. That leaves credence to Ryo being the guy that Asakura was beating.
I was saying,
and I joked
like either that is Shoichi or that is either that is the actor who played Shoichi or that is his stunt double. And then so Scott's going off like continuing watching the movie. Then he looks at me and he sees me furiously on my phone
swiping, and I'm just like, "Are you looking it up?" And he's like, "Definitely."
And then a couple seconds later, and I go, "It is him!" And I show him my phone,
shoves it in my face, and I go, "Holy shit, you're right! Check if that guy was Ryo." And it was.
Oh my God. And then I pull up Ryo. No, you don't ask me to check. He goes, now that you've proven to me that is that actor, are you checking on Ryo? And I said yes.
And then after he finds...
I see Ryo credited as Asakura's victim.
Yeah, well, his actor. His name isn't Ryo. It was something else.
Yeah, whatever.
His actor credited Asakura's victim. And I go, "Yo!" And then he starts furiously swiping it. I'm like, "Are you looking for Hikawa?" And he goes, "Yes, I am."
And I go, "Oh, they're at some restaurant." But either he was in the background of the restaurant we were just at, or he hasn't shown up yet. And Scott goes... He hasn't shown up yet because I know what that kind of restaurant is. We'll keep watching.
Yeah. So we're
then we get the fight with Asakura.
Then Ryuga shows up.
We get the fight with Asakura. She gets beat up after trying to like.
And then Ryuga. Yeah, then Ryuga
shows up
and murders Asakura.
Asakura is like, "Oh man, I'm getting beat up trying to unite vent and then final vent," and then Ryuga, who is a black Ryuki, just loads in his final vent, And
it summons... Alright, so he summons his version of Drag Redder, so I jokingly say, obviously it's Drag Blacker because it's not red, it's black. Lo and behold, that's eventually what its name turns out to be. I was legit making a joke like, hey look, it's Drag Blacker because it's not Drag Redder because it's not red. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, it's like towards the end that we get to see the actual contract card with Drag Blacker on it. Anyway, he uses this final vent which
to destroy Genocider, the united vent monster.
Yeah, and then this marks the end of Asakura, and on the screen we get a countdown that says there are 5 riders left, and I almost lost my shit because I was like, oh my god, it's like 5, there'd be 6 because Ryuga's here. They're fucking count. Like what the fuck's going on? And Scott goes, clearly Shiro's not counting himself, and I go, oh, that makes sense. And then later, Scott goes, but then the number was off, and I go, oh, you told me during the movie that the count did not include Shiro. And he goes, oh yeah, you're right, I did.
Oh no, whatever. The problem is that we don't see all of the riders in the show. For example, Fem only popping up just now.
And anyway, we get
So because I don't know, Fem's like a dumb bitch or something, she thinks Ryuga is Ryuki, even though he clearly wasn't. I blame the fact that she was almost dying.
Yeah. And then so she invites
Shoichi.
She invites Shinji out on a date. And then they're
hanging out at the amusement park or no, not the amusement park yet. They go to the restaurant first, I'm pretty sure.
No, not yet. They don't do the restaurant thing yet.
They do something.
They're hanging out at the mall, and and then he goes to the bathroom. Like they're at another restaurant that's not that restaurant yet.
No, they don't go to a restaurant yet. They're
at a food place that is
not the
one that
the Okonomiya restaurant.
Yeah. And he goes to the
Okonomiyaki.
bathroom. He goes to the bathroom, and then dark Shinji's mirror image,
appears out of the after Shinji leaves the bathroom. His dark mirror self leaves the bathroom and somehow makes it to Miho before Shinji does.
And then so dark Shinji takes Miho out. And then Shinji's like, "Where's Miho?"
Huh? What?
Out, and then we get the scene where they're on top of a building. And Dark Shinji is gonna try to hard murder Miho, and then Miho is like, "You're not Shinji. Who are you?"
Even though he's been uncharacteristically quiet, somber, and straight-faced.
It's not until that he tries to murder her that she figures it out.
God.
And so
then Shinji actually saves her.
Yeah.
After a bit of fighting.
Yeah.
Where he has Drag Blacker slam into her and drag her through a building.
No, it's not yet.
Are you really?
Not yet.
God.
All we see, Ren is fighting
really.
another dragonfly monster.
And he can fly now.
Yeah, he can fly now. And so he sees Ryuga fighting Fem, but doesn't know that Ryuga is Ryuga and thinks it's Shinji.
Yeah.
And then Shinji steps in, saves the day, and they.
But Ren doesn't see that because he goes and final vents the monster. By the way, Ren's final vent with the spiral drop is called Hizan Show.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. So then now we get the next date with Miho, like where she's like, the last date was to say thank you for Shinji, and then that leads into the Shinji like, oh, that's not me, and then she goes, oh, you're not Shinji, and then that's what the reveal of Ryuga.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then now we get the actual date between Miho and Shinji, where Miho's on the date because she actually just likes Shinji.
Yeah, and it's like they have fun, and they're doing the thing, and they're talking around, and
now they're at the restaurant.
See, this is the important stuff.
Yeah.
So literally, as soon as we're in the restaurant, I'm like, this is the restaurant. So we both huddle up towards the screen, and we're looking around.
Furiously looking at the screen.
And behind Shinji.
In the background, blurred out.
I see a familiar jawline.
I see a familiar hairstyle.
He sees the hairstyle. I see the jawline. I'm like, that's him! Ah! And then there's a girl sitting across from him, but we only see the back of her head.
Yeah, and I see the girl, and I go, then that means that's what's her face. And then he goes, and then he's on his phone. And he goes, oh, you mean like what's her name? Ozawa. Yeah, that's it. And then he goes, I need to find out if
Hojo is here.
If he is here. No, you don't say Hojo. You just say he. And then so I'm looking at the screen. I go, I hope they beat him to it. I hope they beat the.
and I don't even know what's happening. Like Shinji and Miho are having like a whatever.
Miho and Shinji are like doing a thing, and then like they're both fighting over a bottle of oregano. And then it breaks open, and oregano just flies off in the random direction towards our favorite cameos.
Our cameo table.
And then they're all trying to apologize, and then... Oh, wait, the reason why we knew it was Ozawa before it was actually... Because she ordered more beer before.
Oh, man. And then the guy that they're with...
It's not... We don't even get to see the dialogue of her ordering the beer. She just raises her finger, and the person hands her a pitcher of beer.
And then I think the greatest thing about it...
They go to apologize to the people, and Ozawa and Hojo both turn around.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, it's Hojo! And then you look up from your phone, and
that's what I was trying to find! I was so happy, because it wasn't the Kohai-kun that was always with him. It was Hojo. I was so happy. Those cameos of the Agito cast... fucking made that entire stretch worth it. It made everything worth it.
So then we get the scene where
now we get the unimportant stuff.
Yeah, now we get the...
don't we get some stuff with Yui and how she's dissolving because her birthday's coming up, and how she's going insane seeing her tiny child version of herself, and something, and she somehow figures out what Kanzaki Shiro's after, and we finally get an explanation of why the Rider War is happening, but Kamen Rider Odin isn't just going around massacring riders. It's because how it works is through the countless battles and struggles, the rider must refine their life force / soul through conflict, and at the end, whoever they will fight the final rider. And the loser will have their life quite literal life taken from them, and Kanzaki Shiro will take the life of that refined soul and give it to Yui so she can live for the rest of a life.
Yeah.
Finally, we got an explanation.
Yeah. Then we get Fem's next encounter with Ryuga. Which is the
one I'm talking about. Which is the one I was talking about.
Oh no! You know what? I am an idiot because she only had one encounter with Ryuga, but then she died.
Yeah.
So
I was right. She sees Ryuga
I'm an idiot.
on the rooftop, and he has Drag Blacker shove her through a building. Oh my god!
She gets it so hard. And then
it's probably the worst.
So the fight. Here's how the fight proceeds. Like how it leading up to Shinji rescuing her from being hit by Ryuga's final event. Ryuga uses Advent, and you'd think like, oh, he's just gonna like do the thing where he grabs the fucking Black Dragon Ball, shoot the fireball out. No. Drag Blacker just comes down on top of Fem, crashes her through the ground, and then rams her into like 3 cement pillars.
It's like 5.
Whatever.
It was a
rams
lot.
her into a bunch of cement pillars, and then Shinji rescues her.
And then they have a date, and then she dies on the side of the road. She
dies on the side of the road, and you were like, but like, you go, but she didn't get hit by a final event, and I go, does it? Then I pointed out that I went over that entire sequence of her getting fucking
wrecked,
blown through everything, and then you were like, okay, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, like,
because nobody gets it that hard.
Not for another 15 years. But we'll get to that in a minute, or in a little bit. Oh man! So yeah, Fem's dead, and we get another count, and then Kitaoka actually gives up on the Rider War, and he's allowed to quit, even though
because he's losing the feelings in his hands, and so he can't
fight anymore.
He knows he can't fight anymore,
so he goes out on a date with Reiko that we never see, but we just see Kamen Rider Zolda retires. There's only 3 left.
Yeah, and then
it's Ryuga, Knight, and Ryuki.
And then Ryuga
shows up,
kidnaps Yui.
Oh yeah.
And then Shinji and Ren go to rescue her. Shinji fights Ryuga, and they both clash final events.
No. You are forgetting they fuse. They don't clash final events until their last fight. And that's after they break. That's after Shinji breaks free from the fusion. Because remember, Ryuga shows up at the coffee shop as Dark Shinji, and he's just like, "You and I need to become the strongest rider and combine." Because Ren was just like,
I'm remembering, but I'm trying to think if that actually accomplished anything.
Yeah, it did.
Oh yeah, that's how he kidnapped Yui.
Yeah. No, all right, but I'd like to point out that Ren finally goes up to Shinji, and he's just like, so I didn't think you were actually going to be a part of the Rider War, so I guess you were just lying to us this whole time about not wanting to fight, because he had seen Ryuga fighting Fem, and Shinji's just like,
that's an earlier thing though.
Yeah, but that still happened. Shinji's just like, what are you talking about?
And then Ren walks up to the coffee shop after they have the talk about fusing, and Ren sees Dark Shinji fusing with Shinji. Figures out that it wasn't Shinji who actually was there that night.
I mean, it'd be pretty obvious at that point.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty hard to like, I guess who I saw wasn't who I saw. Oh well.
But then while they're fused, Shinji and Dark Shinji fights Ren, and then I think he beats up Ren, and then they fuck off.
Yeah, and then kidnaps Yui.
And then when he goes to.
And then Yui's talking to Shiro.
No.
That Yui's talking to Shiro, and then she tells them about that the whole life force thing. And then when does she talk to Shiro? When does she? Because she tries to get the rider fighting to stop.
She's in a random building. She didn't get kidnapped. She
goes of her own volition.
Yeah. She goes off. She goes off to a random place in a random building somewhere, and then she puts out the cake, and then she asks Shiro to come out for a conversation, and then she goes off and tells Shiro why he's wrong for what he's doing, and like this
is real.
Yeah, there are cuts throughout like the scene where it cuts to like a liquid dripping, and I looked at it. And I looked at Scott and I go, that's blood. And I know that's blood because water does not have that viscosity, and I never thought I would ever say that statement in my life.
And it turns out that Yui slit her own wrist and died talking to Shiro, and he goes fucking nuts.
This is when he screams out and causes like all the glass in the city to break, and this is what stops Ren and Ryuga's fight.
Yeah.
And then when Ren and Ryuga find Yui's dead body, this causes Shinji to separate from him, and then they have the fight, and then they clash final events.
Yep, and then it's during the fight that we actually see the Drag Blacker card, and I was just like, wait, go back. It was actually Drag Blacker.
Yeah. And then we have Shinji and Ren sitting in the building with Yui's corpse, and then they're talking with each other.
And then we see a giant wave of the dragonfly monsters that were in droves before, but now there are even more of them. And then they both end up in survive mode. And
then they both henshin into survive mode, and they're like, "Oh, let's go beat those monsters."
And it's just a Bolivian army ending.
I was gonna say that, actually. And then we have some random alternate universe ending where Shinji dies and Yui doesn't kill herself. She just kind of fades out of existence, talking to Shiro. And then Ren beats Odin, Asakura.
No, Ren doesn't just beat Odin. Odin kind of just implodes on himself because Shiro's upset.
Oh yeah, I forget. And
then Asakura gets gunned down by police, and Kitaoka dies of cancer.
Yeah, and then
wait, hold on, Alan. I think what we're talking about now is the actual end of the show, and not the amazing. All right, episode final, in our opinion, was way better than what we actually got.
Yes, I would rather this Bolivian army ending over this stupid fucking ending that we actually got.
Because all right, so we're gonna go over the problems with this actual ending.
The split in the timeline between episode final and the actual ending takes the split happens
like the last 4 episodes. In
the timeline, what is marked as 3 days before Yui's birthday, and it's episode final is a different last 4 episodes than the.
Yeah, and it's really weird because it came out long before the show was over.
Yeah, and I found out that the reason why is because they didn't know if they were going to get the full season for the show.
So a big problem with the actual television show ending is the whole thing about the whole life force thing about Yui is never explained. So we never get an actual reason why Odin never actually fights.
They give us a real reason why Odin fights. They give us a real reason why monsters from the mirror world attack people. They give us a real reason why the monsters from the mirror world exist. And they give us the reason why Yui is still alive after having dropped dead of starvation in the...
Yeah, but in the television show, we kind of get where the monsters come from, that from her drawings, but they never outright
they flush out a little bit more.
They flesh it out a little bit more in episode final. And they don't explain how the whole Rider War will end up. It's just kind of whatever. It's kind of assumed. Also, another big problem with the ending is all right. So I'm gonna say Shinji's death scene. Because Shinji ends up dying. He jumps in the way of a monster attack for a mom and her kid, or just the kid, just the kid, and takes a stab in the back, and then starts fighting through it. And it was really manly. And I was really hoping that he would hit the time limit, and he'd be fighting through dying and the time limit.
Yeah, but he just...
And his death scene was really sad.
He's fighting off monsters. He's he's struggling against monsters that
he pulls off a rider kick on 3 of them.
Yeah, monsters that he would have just handily beat without dying. He's doing it while dying.
Yeah, it's great.
And him and Ren both survive and both wipe out the monsters.
And now they're all just gone.
Yeah, and Ren Ren is holding Shinji in his arms, not holding him up, but while Shinji is laying down on the ground.
Dying.
And Shinji's saying his final words, and he goes, "Man, it's kind of fucked up to live in a world in which I finally find my reason to fight, and then I just die. I die completely unrelated to that." And and then Ren goes "Oh, you're my," or goes, "Oh man, Shinji, I actually kind of liked you. Don't die, please." And then Shinji goes, "Man, I never thought I would ever hear you say that." And then he's dead.
God, like it was a really good scene.
It was really good.
It was a really.
It's too bad the rest of the ending was terrible.
Because all right, so then Asakura is in like a warehouse, and the police are like, "All right, we're gonna shoot Asakura on sight if he gets violent." And I'm like, "You should have shot him 100 episodes ago, forever ago." And then Kitaoka is just like, I can either go on a date with Reiko-san, or I can go fight Asakura.
The date is supposed to happen like the next.
No, it's the same day because she's there in the restaurant.
Yeah, he's gonna take care of Asakura in the morning and then go on the date and then go on the lunch date. And
no, it was at the same time because we see Reiko at the restaurant at the same time as we see the fight. No,
I think we see her after.
Or maybe it's maybe it doesn't really matter. But either way, Kitaoka's just like, see, I need to settle things with Asakura, but he's dying of the cancer.
Yeah, and so then we get Asakura about to be ambushed by the police, and then he sees Kitaoka henshined up in the corner of the room, and then he goes, I get to fight you.
All right, and again, it was one of those really cool... sorry, my voice. It was one of those really cool camera shots where there's two pieces of broken glass.
And in one glass, you see Asakura's face. In the other piece of glass, you see
Zolda.
Yeah.
And then Asakura is just, now we can do this. And he henshins, and they have their final fight, and they're going at it. And it's really great.
And then it ends with fucking Kitaoka trying to do his final event. But then Asakura's like, fuck that shit, I'm gonna unite and then use my final event. Which is... apparently beats out Kitaoka's final event.
Well, I mean, yeah. He's kind of corkscrew drop kicking him into a black hole.
Yes.
That's Genocider's final event. I forget what it was called. Chaos End or something like that?
I don't know. But anyway, then he's like, man, this wasn't a satisfying fight. Fuck you. And then Zolda dehensions, and it turns out it's Goro-chan.
I was speechless when I saw it. I was like, what? What? How did... And it turns out Kitaoka was already dead.
Yeah, and then
this
is when we get the cut of Reiko waiting at the place for lunch.
Yes.
And then,
I was
in a fit of rage that he didn't get the final fight with Kitaoka that he wanted, he just runs out into the fucking open area with a pipe, ready to attack the police. But then the police all shoot. Down. Yeah.
And then Ren goes in. But while this is happening, Kanzaki Shiro is just like, "There's no time left. Fight me."
Yeah.
Even though there's more than one rider left.
Yeah.
Fight me. He can just choose to break his own rules.
Yeah. So we get the fight of Odin versus Ren, and eventually Yui just disappears anyway because
no, she was already dead.
Oh yeah. She's already dead, and then she
was already super gone. Yeah, because she vanished in thin air.
And it's like during this time that Shiro reflects on the conversation, like everything that he's like is reflecting on everything of like every time you talk to Yui, the time when Shinji was like, "This isn't what Yui wants. She just wants you to be happy."
Oh no, he does talk to her like she's in a mirror. Remember?
Oh, well, it's not, I don't think that happens till like right after.
No, yeah, you're right. That's like it doesn't. For some reason, Shiro like goes insane or has a change of heart or something, and
he screams out, and then he does the mirror breaking thing that's not as good as the one from episode final.
Because it doesn't break the whole city. It's just like, I don't know, the one building that they're in or something.
And then Odin implodes.
Odin
goes, well, Ren, you've won. And then he just disappears.
But this is after he's hit Ren with the final vent, so Ren's kind of like dying.
Yeah. Then Ren actually uses his wish, and Eri wakes up, and Shiro, and then we cut back to Shiro.
And Ren's dying in Eri's hospital room.
Yeah,
the best place to be dying.
Yeah,
in a hospital.
And then we cut back to Shiro and Yui in the mirror world talking, and she goes, "Look, you gotta stop it. You can't just keep going and doing this." And then he goes,
because as it's been turning out, Kanzaki Shiro has been resetting the Rider War every time he doesn't win.
Yes, and nobody says it. He doesn't. Well, he doesn't outright say it.
Yeah,
but the implication is that he keeps using Time Vent to go back and change the Rider War.
But it's not explicitly stated in the show.
It's not explicitly stated in the show. And one thing this is one thing that people speculate and agree upon. Also agreeing upon that every version of the Rider War, he has been unable to stop Yui from dying and stop Shinji from becoming Ryuki.
Yeah, like as far as we know that we've looked, because we've actually looked up a little bit of the SICs and whatever.
Yeah,
that in every iteration of the Rider War, Yui still disappears and Shinji still becomes Ryuki.
Yeah, and this is the TV show ending is the final Rider War.
Yeah, because at that point, Shiro just uses Time Vent to make it so that he never saved Yui from when she died as a child. Because the big reveal is that Yui died as a child, and then Shiro used her mirror world's version of herself or something to give her life.
Yeah.
But that was like super borrowed time. And her 20th birthday was like her last birthday.
Yeah, and he was gonna and then he made up the whole Rider War to
do the life force thing, but that's not properly explained, really.
Yeah. And so then we get a bunch of...
So because of that, the Rider War never started. So everyone's alive again.
Yeah, and we get
this montage.
We get a couple of good like interactions between the characters.
You only say that because you like it when Shinji gets fucked by everyone knocking over his motorcycle, his scooter. You only say
I just love that bit where Asakura just kicks his fucking bike over.
Just for no reason. Says
it vexed me and walks away.
God.
Oh, man.
Like, alright, so basically alright, and then we do get a really sad scene is when Shinji goes into the cafe, and it's like, it's a lot more shaded over.
Yeah.
And the picture is just of Yui and Shiro as kids instead of as... Alright, so over the course of the show, we always see this like set of pictures in the cafe of Yui and Shiro, but they're like adults. Because that was the last time they saw each other was like 3 years before the Rider War started.
Yeah, it's before he went to America to do things.
Yeah, it was 2 to 3 years before the show started. But now it's just them as kids, and the grandma is just manning the store by herself, and it's actually really sad.
Yeah.
But, again...
I personally like... I know... So, Scott's big problem is that he doesn't like the ending because it makes everything that the main characters have struggled through null and void because none of it ever actually happened.
Yeah, it's something I have a huge problem with.
When I initially watched it and seeing it now, I just enjoyed the fact that everybody was alive.
Well, what do you think about it now?
That's what, even now. I just enjoy the fact that everybody was alive.
See, it's like conflicting. It's like, yeah, I like the characters enough that I don't want them dead, but to like, and it's a bittersweet ending because Yui's dead, even though I wasn't particularly fond of her. I liked Shiro as a villain, even though, like, really did much, and nothing was explained.
He wasn't particularly evil. He was just he was just really selfish.
He was amusing as a villain because he would always just come up out of nowhere, Tatakai. Just this dingy ass looking motherfucker, Tatakai. Oh, something of note is that as Yui is dying, he loses the super deep god voice.
Oh yeah! Oh my god! I was like, I looked at Scott, and like Scott's not paying attention, and I looked at Scott, and I go, "Hey man, it's really weird that Shiro, like as soon as Yui starts dying, Shiro just drops the deep voice, and he goes, what?" And then we go back and rewatch it.
Yeah, like as Yui's dying, his voice. All right, so I always knew that his voice was like being artificially deepened because it was way deeper than what the guy looks like.
Is, he was doing it himself. Like, he's just doing it himself.
I thought for sure that they were using like a slight voice thing.
No, the only times that they're doing the voice thing is when he's in the mirrors
and it's
talking
like
to people. Yeah, when he's out of the mirrors talking to people,
it's still super deep.
He's faking his voice, like he himself is faking his voice to be deep. And then there's the bit where he's not doing anything and he's just...
Yeah, it's like super deep, and it always sounds like way deeper than what it should be as like a normal voice. And then he finally lets out a normal voice as Yui's dying, begging her to not be dying, even though there's not much he can do about it.
Yeah. That's that. And then there's... Now, I know that we said that we were going to watch the special of the 13 Riders battle, but at this point, like, we had just marathoned everything, including episode final, and then, like, Scott was falling asleep.
Alright, I was mainly falling asleep because I'd just gotten off of work that morning, because I work overnights, so I got off of work at, like, I don't know, so we started watching it at, like, I don't know, 8 o'clock or something.
Yeah.
And now this is like 4 hours later, and I'm like, man, I need to fucking pass out.
And I already knew that 13 Riders Battle had 2 alternate endings, and none of it went anywhere.
It wasn't as good as episode final.
I got to the point where I got to see
the 13th
We got to
rider.
see the 13th Rider, Kamen Rider Verde. And
based on a chameleon.
Yeah, he's all about having power, and he wants to wish for more power when he wins the Rider War. And then we get to see his final event, which is my favorite final event in the whole show.
It's also mine. What was it called again?
I don't fucking know.
Alright, so what it does is he has his contract beast, his chameleon, flick its tongue out, grab his target by their ankles, grab him by the ankles.
He jumps up in the air, it grabs his ankles, and then
he acrobats, and he grabs onto the other person rider, so they're upside down from him.
So basically, when he gets thrown by his monster, he flips around until he's upside down, grabs his opponent by the ankles, and continues the flip back up into the air without... By the way, he hasn't touched the ground yet. And then he does...
And then the beast's tongue lets go, and he spins through the air, and he locks them in place, and does a tombstone fucking power bomb, and plants them into the ground.
Yes. His final vent obliterates his opponent's skull or spine.
Just complete... Not really, because they survived, but basically that's what happens.
He survived long enough to die, because apparently after that scene he was supposed to be dead.
Yeah, it was great. And then we stopped watching the special because, like, I was dying.
And the 2 endings are... One is...
Shinji keeps fighting.
It ultimately leads to Ren dying and giving Shinji his card deck. And then Shinji transforms into Knight Survive. And then he starts driving the motorcycle toward the mirror that is supposed to be the focal point of the mirror world.
Which never showed up in the show or episode final, but whatever.
And then this is where the split for the endings happen. One of them is he runs into the mirror, breaks it, thinking he destroyed the mirror world, and then Shiro shows up and tells him that the Rider War's not over and that they have to fight. The other ending is that he stops before hitting the mirror, and then he goes to fight the other riders.
And then that's it.
And then it stops, and then it cuts off there.
Alright. It was a long and painful journey. Honestly, though, there were parts of Ryuki that I really, really liked. But then there were parts that I really, really didn't like.
There were.
Like, alright, so one thing I do like about Ryuki, I like the designs. The designs follow along that, like, fairly simplistic design style that I enjoy with Sentai and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm still a fan of the ones where they have everything going on.
Where they have the everything.
Yeah.
Like, I like the contract beasts. I like the weapons and stuff like that. I just, you know, I enjoy the designs. I also like, I've gone over it like a lot, but I really, really like all the camera work that they do, especially with like the mirror stuff that they try to do. This is definitely a far more visually dynamic Rider series than the last two. Because the last two were pretty bare bones in terms of like camera work.
Yeah.
I don't remember there being any standout, super cool, interesting shots in Agito or Kuga.
One of the things that I found out when I was looking this up is that Ryuki, I think you told me that Ryuki made the most money
in toy sales. Of any rider before Decade. It was either before Decade or from Decade back to Kuga. Between Kuga and Decade, Ryuki made the most in toy sales. And I can see why. I mean, toys are pretty cool. Like the Drag Rider Gauntlet.
Yeah, and the fact that it made like a lot of money, I feel like going forward really, really like helps out the series as a whole. Because the further we go, the longer Kamen Rider exists, apparently, the better it gets to me. And like they're less on the they do like later after this go like less stupid things.
As far as you remember.
As far as I remember.
But yeah, I don't know. I just keep seeing like these super elaborate, ostentatious fucking rider belts and shit like that. Like I see like X-Aids, Fours, what is it? Build. Like I'm and Gaim. I'm seeing all these crazy ass rider belts. I'm just like, man, what happened to just a belt and the thing you click onto the belt and you turn into the guy? Like whatever happened to that? But it's like, I mean, okay. Boiling it down.
I like how you're like, what happened to having the belt and clicking the thing in? And I'm thinking that's literally every rider.
Okay, but I'm going to explain it. What I mean is, it's just a belt with a thing. Sometimes Agito and Kuga didn't even have a thing to click into the belt. They just had the belt and they pressed a button on the belt. And here in Ryuki they just clicked the thing. And even in Kabuto, they just clicked a thing onto the belt. But then we get like Gaim's fucking, what is it, lock and key smoothie maker belt, or Force's arcade setup, or X-Aid's fucking like super giant like game system on your fucking hip with the game cartridges, or Build with like its capsules with the things you shake and you shove them in and you spin it around.
I would say that nothing is as involved in as Builds, where he like does the shake and then the spinning thing, because mostly everybody's thing is relegated to like a two-step process. Insert object and press switch, or press switch or pull lever.
All right. But what I'm saying is like you don't need to make it overly complicated. Like I mean, yeah, okay, like the whole X8 spinning the cartridge on his finger thing, or Build shaking the capsules. I don't think they gotta do that. But what I'm saying is like. I'm talking like design-wise.
I bet you Build has to shake it. They're gonna come up with something.
Well, whatever. We haven't watched Build yet, so we don't know for sure.
Apparently, I'm not allowed to watch. I'm caught up on everything, and I'm not allowed to watch Build because I have to do commentary.
Well, I told you not to watch it because you for damn sure would spoil it to me if you watched it, like you did to some things in X8.
No, okay, What did I spoil?
Some stuff. Don't worry about it.
Because I haven't actually spoiled anything. You've just
stuff about what's his face with the dead girlfriend and hidden.
Yeah, this is before we even decided to do the commentary, though. That's not my fault.
No, it's not your fault, but it is your fault. But anyway, what I'm saying is, I like the more simplistic rider belt kind of deals, like here, and whatever. I'm not saying like they're bad, and I'm not that I won't like them eventually, but like, God, what happened to my daddy's Kamen Rider? What happened to like the simpler days where you click the thing into place and sometimes it said a thing, not this like Shabatubi touch a henshin and all that good stuff and Tatoba, whatever nonsense, like all this like jingle jangles.
Too bad we're only watching the Heisei series and not the Showa.
Yeah, I know, right? I probably fucking love the shit out of Showa riders. All the like,
I bet the belt, like for all the Showa guys, the belt is just there. They don't even care.
Yeah, like for real. I bet I'd fucking love some Showa ass riders. So all right. So now we're gonna talk about speaking of all this things that we're talking about. Now we can talk about the 15 years later arc.
When I went to go download files, I also went into the X8 section of the website that I use to see if there was any like extra specials that I could watch, because I'm allowed to watch specials that I haven't seen from X8 back. I'm just not allowed to watch anything from Build.
Onwards, because by the time we reach Build, it'll be more. There will be more.
Yeah, probably.
Definitely.
And so I'm watching the Cho Superhero Tyson movie. And yes, they did dub like it. Yes, if you were to take it at literal translation, it would be Superhero Tyson. Superhero
War.
Whatever. Gotta
translate both Japanese words. Cho Superhero Tyson. It's like X8 versus Q Ranger or something like that.
It's supposed to be the X8 Q Ranger special, but like they did with Wizard, which is like I know this because I watched that special. They focus on the one ranger from the previous set, and then another ranger from a set before that shows up, and the main character from the Rider series that we're focusing on is somebody who is a side character, not the main Rider. And so we get a team of Pipo Papapo, and
what the fuck?
The pink Jew Ranger. And they go into some Game World shenanigans happen, but ultimately in order for you guys to get our help, you need to have your main character go into a fight. And then, so he goes to do this fight, and then they go, oh, you get to pick your team. You get to pick a 5-man team because we also have Sentai going on. And then he goes, oh, so it's like, so X8, you're in the red slot. And he goes, okay, who am I even gonna pick? And then in the pink slot, Momotaro shows up and goes, "Hey man, you want to pick me?" And so he's having exchanges with various Sentai and riders, and eventually when he has his yellow slot rider, his yellow slot rider goes, "Hey man, I know exactly who we should pick for the green slot. He is the black and white lawyer, Kitsuoka." And then it's the actual actor who played Kitsuoka, except he's 15 years older and he's gotten a little husky.
He's way older, but he still pulled off the role. Like,
yeah, he still does his Kitsuoka thing, and he's like, "So I don't work for free. Here's a contract."
And for some reason he calls Momotaro Goro-chan,
which we could never figure. Like, I looked into it, I could not figure out the reason why he does it.
Yeah, like obviously it's a gag, but it wasn't a gag with like a real basis, because it's not like Goro's actor played Momotaro or anything like that. It was just like we want to. Oh, but he does say the whole, like, because they're in a superhero game, he does say the line, "The harder you try to become a hero, the further away from it you get." He does say that line.
He says it for, like, he just says it just to say it, honestly.
Well, you know, I still think it was interesting that they have that line.
Also, going into the fight, when he henshins, there's a mirror just right next to him that he looks at to henshin.
Well, yeah, because they need a mirror to henshin.
And we'll actually talk about this special when we actually watch it.
When we actually get to X8. We just wanted to talk about it because it was amusing seeing this random Ryuki reference right after we had finished Ryuki.
And then we get another Ryuki reference in the form of the special for the Kamen Rider Brave special, where he is pitted up against Asakura.
And he's old as shit, too.
Asakura is like, he just shows up and says, "Hey, I want to fight," and the guy, the big giant Satan guy, is like, "Go ahead and fight, Asakura." And then he
like of all the, like, even though we see like I don't know, Kiva's evil twin brother that you told me about,
the people that Satan, like giant Satan monster gathers, are Kiva's evil brother, Tiger.
Yeah, Tiger, even though he doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
Sawsword from Kabuto.
Sawsword and Beast from Wizard, which makes no sense that Beast is there, or Sawsword, because they're not evil riders. They're not.
They're also not even part of like that universe, because Kabuto is like an alternate timeline twice.
Yes. Look, at this point, it doesn't matter, because like, when Decade's introduced, it doesn't matter at that point, because
you're right.
There's like 5 billion alternate worlds.
But yeah, Asakura gets like speaking lines, and
he doesn't even henshin for most of the special. He goes around beating people up.
Like one of the nurses that apparently wants to suck Brave's dick, he's following her. And he stops. She like trips because it's a horror movie or whatever.
Yeah, and then he
pulls out her groceries and starts eating her fish, which is an important part of Asakura's character.
Asakura just will eat anything. He'll just eat anything.
Well, it's also because he's a starving homeless man.
Yeah,
but he pulls out her fish and just starts eating into it.
And then he
picks up a lead pipe.
Then he grabs his lead pipe and just starts beating her with it.
And it was brutal because I expected like a smash cut to black or to something else.
No, we don't actually get to see her get beaten, but we get to watch Asakura's shadow on top of hers just slamming the pipe.
Yeah, it was actually surprisingly brutal. Because we see a good few whacks. It's not one whack smash cut to black. You know what I'm talking about?
It's like it's like 3 or 4. And
Yeah,
then
it's
they
like
cut away.
4 good whacks before we cut away. And she's got 2 broken arms and like a broken rib or some shit like that in the hospital.
And then we cut to my boy hero, Kamen Rider Brave, going off to earn some award in New York for being a great surgeon, because it'll up his publicity and thus get him more patients and money and stuff. Anyway, and his other nurse goes to take a shower from like the staff room shower, and then she gets attacked by Tiger, and she starts running away, and then we get this comical scene of where she's running, and then X8 sees her and goes, "Oh no! Oh no! I'm
sorry.
I'm sorry!" And then she goes, "No, look!" And then he goes, "What? Oh man, you don't." It's like, what? No, seriously, look! And then when she moves his hand, there's Kamen Rider Tiger with his arm raised, about to fucking attack them. And then he runs off with her, and then we get Asakura again.
And he like cuts open her towel, and underneath her towel is another towel.
Not just yet.
Oh yeah.
First, like, Asakura starts attacking X8, and he's like manhandles him, picks him up, shoves his face into a barrel of glass, and just starts swishing it around.
Yeah, and by the way, they're not henshin. They're still in their like X8 ran away from Tiger still in his human form, and because he I don't know, one of his transformation gadgets got like swapped out by some asshole who bumped into him.
Yeah. So
he was just like, what is this? And then he starts running away. And Asakura is still in his human form. So they're not henshin. He's shoving his face in, quote unquote glass.
And then he throws him onto the curb. And I mean, his X8's face is fucked up. And he's like a couple inches away from where a good curb stomp would have fucking done some shit. But he put Asakura goes to chase the girl again. And then Brave shows up.
No, he cuts open her towel, and underneath that is another towel.
Yeah, it's another towel. And then Asakura, before he can do anything with the pipe, a fucking plane ticket just swoops into the scene and knocks a piece of glass out of his hand that he was going to cut her with. And then Scott looks at me and goes, "A plane ticket? What?" And I go, "His blade can cut anything."
I suppose I'll get to it when I get to X8.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, he like throws his jacket over his unconscious nurse groupie, picks her up, and says, "You're a twisted man who only fights for his own self-gain. You're the opposite of me. You fight and kill and take away the dreams of others, while I work to save lives so they can fulfill their own dreams." And then he henshins. And then then he henshins, but then like
the other 4 riders show up, so he's fighting them, and while he's fighting them, Asakura just shouts out into the air, because Satan is gonna hear him when he says this. He goes, "I thought you brought me back and said I could fight. Why can't I have my rider powers?"
And then from out of nowhere, just his card deck flies into existence, and he catches it, and he goes, "Now that's what I'm talking about." He goes up to a mirror, and he does the henshin.
Yeah. And then the fight happens, and Brave beats Asakura using a one-time special transformation.
Night of Safari.
Yeah, and then that's the end of the special.
And that's basically... Yeah, he performs surgery to cure 2 broken arms, and that's not how that surgery works, but, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Gotta not break continuity by having a nurse have 2 broken arms from a surgery from a special that no one saw.
After Brave gets introduced with those 2 nurses, I don't think I ever see them in the show again.
I don't believe you. Because you thought one of the nurses was the other nurse. So I can't trust you. I was like, He was just like, oh yeah, there was the one nurse. And I go, what? No, that's not the same nurse. She has 2 broken arms. And he goes, oh, she got better. I'm like, you don't heal from 2 broken arms in a day unless you get surgeried on by Brave.
I just assumed that there was a bit of time that went by, and I forgot that he has 2 nurses instead.
And of note is that Alan told me that there were 2 nurse groupies
at the start of the special. But no, seriously though, I'm like, stupid special aside, those nurses just kind of go away after the first couple episodes of X-Aid.
You know what? I'll take your word for it, but we'll get there when we get there. All right. So we only wanted to go over those because
they were Ryuki cameos.
It was really funny Ryuki cameos that just so happened to take prominence right after we finished Ryuki. Because Asakura shows up with, some other writers, but they don't have speaking lines or do anything. They're just there. But Asakura is like front and center this special after 15 years. I don't know if this is like some kind of director who was just like, yeah, I was on Ryuki too, or someone who like really liked Ryuki on staff or something. But like, it was just really surprising and honestly brutal. Because I was thinking about it at work, and I text Alan and I go, in that special, Asakura is more brutal than he is in all of Ryuki. Because so he always picks up the lead pipe, but he never hits anyone with it.
Yeah.
And he never shoves someone's face through glass. Like, he's always like...
All of his worst crimes are talked about as if, like, they happened in the past before he got introduced in the show. And then
all of his kills on screen are with rider powers. So they're not, like... they're not brutal. They're just rider powers.
Yeah. And then my response was, you're right. And then a couple of minutes later I texted him, but it's... The fact that he's doing all these brutal things just feels more right.
Yep, and I agreed. It was just something I had noticed and pointed out. And the only reason I was able to point it out is because we had just finished Ryuki.
Yeah.
Overall, Ryuki was tough to get through, but I didn't totally hate it.
There were fun moments.
There were lots of really good dramatic moments and really good funny moments. If I had to say anything about Ryuki, I feel like its highs were higher, but its lows were lower, and a little bit more frequent than Agito and Kuga.
And I told Scott at the end of this, if I ever find out or get to meet the writer who wrote all those episodes that did nothing, I will punch him in the face.
It was like there were just episodes that didn't need to exist, or things weren't properly explained, or like we're just inconsistent in a lot of ways. Like, as much as I loved those 2 episodes where it was Kitaoka, Ren, and Shinji doping around, broing out, and solving, random mysteries, with the marriage license one wasn't so good, or not the marriage license one, the arranged marriage one wasn't as good, but the Megami one was really funny.
Yeah,
that one was super funny. But then that's followed up with like 2 of the absolute worst episodes, the 2 Asakura episodes. Despite being about Asakura, they were just straight bad.
They didn't expand on Asakura at all.
Like, we know he's a cold, emotionless sociopath, a psychopath. He's not a sociopath.
That's Tojo.
Yeah, Tojo is a sociopath. He's just a cold, heartless psychopath who's only in it for himself. And it's like those 2 episodes reinforce that by being like, oh yeah, there's this little girl who's like indebted to him, but it was just like really weird and it didn't feel good to watch those.
Yeah.
God. But there was a lot of like complex story or complex character writing and interactions that I enjoyed. I felt like the characters did have a lot more depth to them than in the previous 2 shows, Kuga and Agito. Yeah. But it's like, it wasn't always to the show's benefit. There were some things that were just straight to its detriment. Not to mention the fact that we don't even... Like, the only way to see all the 13 riders that Ryuki has to offer is by watching multiple specials and movies.
Yeah, and it's like...
They have enough
trash, nothing episodes that they could have just thrown them out or rewrote them to have introduced and included the other riders that weren't actually in the TV show.
Also, I will say, they should have definitely used Femme in the television show. I say that.
You know what character they could have gotten rid of and wrote in Femme to take her place?
What?
That girl who fucking...
Megumi?
Yeah, Megumi.
God, that would have been way... Alright, so Megumi did give us the funniest episode of the show, but in terms of, like, a story-driven show like Ryuki, it definitely could have gone in favor of, like, more character focus and Femme. Like, Femme should have existed in the show and way longer, and introduced before what would be the final 4 episodes or whatever.
Yeah.
She definitely could have given us, like, a bit more, like, she could have given us that, like, what's her face from Lupin the Third? Fujiko? She could have given us, like,
that's her name.
Yeah, Fujiko Mine. Yeah, she could have given us that kind of, like, vibe in the show. Or like a Catwoman vibe, you know what I'm talking about? She could have been that. That would have been fun to have alongside our myriad other cast members. Like the bad girl that kind of falls for like the dopey, good guy.
Yeah.
I would have much more liked that if that had gotten more time than, an hour and a half movie, of which she dies at like the halfway point. So it's like, if she had gotten more than like, I don't know, I want to say 40 minutes of development time. Yeah. Also, if her sister had outright died and there wasn't a frozen corpse to look at. That was weird.
It meant nothing and went even less.
Yeah, overall, like, I don't know. I'd say I would give Ryuki about 6 out of 10, because those bad things and inconsistencies and things I just straight up didn't like really bring it down for me. Like, again, I really do enjoy a lot of the characters.
It's like I came away with a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I like it. I give it a really big bump for like the interesting camera work that I really, really enjoyed, because it was definitely like a step above the last 2 shows that we watched. It was just visually interesting enough a lot of the time. There were times where it kind of falls flat. Like, remember that scene when Yui gets her god powers and the black feathers are falling on her, and you just get like the big like splotch on her face. Like they were trying to be super dramatic and whatever.
A bunch of feathers just land on her face and they stay there for a second.
And it kind of ruins the scene in my opinion. Like, it was really narmy.
I would rather have not have seen the gray filtered scene with the black feathers falling on her, and just had her somewhere else with black feathers flowing.
No, I like
not the she's standing in her her naked mental image with a gray going on.
That was fine. It was just like it was just like the black feathers made it narmy because they flap on her face.
You know what would have been really good? If there was when Shiro went to confront her, there was a storm of both gold and black feathers swarming around them. Oh my god!
Also, I like how Yui goes out in episode final way more than the show. Because, like, in the show, she kind of just fades out of existence, like, trying to convince Shiro. But, like, in episode final, she takes it all into her own hands and takes and kills herself. Like, that is fucking intense.
Yeah.
It was a really good scene. Episode final, in my opinion, was how the show should have ended. And also, Femme should have been in the show from the beginning. Well, maybe not specifically, like, with
technically, Ryuki. If you think about it, episode final is one of the ways that it
ended
because of time travel bullshit, multiverse shenanigans.
Yeah, but, you know that's bullshit. You know what I mean. You know what I mean when I say this is how I wanted the show to end. Like, because...
I'm just thinking about how, like, in Decade... You get to the final episode, and then Decade's story doesn't actually end until you're like 14 episodes into Double.
Oh yeah, because you have All Riders versus Die Shocker.
No, not even that. It's not that.
You know what? We'll get to it.
Oh man.
We'll get to it eventually.
We may or may not do Dragon Rider. I put out
Dragon Knight.
Dragon Knight. I did put out a couple of very specific stipulations to actually doing it, because I'm of the mindset that I would like to get the mainline stuff done. And Scott really wants to do that while Ryuki's fresh on our mind. So I threw out a bunch of stipulations on, if we're going to do it, then we have to do it one of two ways if we're going to do it now.
Well, but ultimately, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to be like, fuck it, and we'll just wait for Dragon Knight until we catch up with the mainline series.
Yeah.
So next up, we're going to be talking about Kamen Rider 555 Faizu. Anyway, till next time.
Later.